Hi everyone, my name is Yan BK. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Planet Coaster 2, and most importantly, welcome back one final time, for real this time, to Camtaso Park. How's everyone doing? Let's see, let's greet everyone in the chat. Oh, this is a language that I don't recognize, but hi! Hi! However you pronounce this. Hi Efteling, hi Will, hi Dejui, hi Sebastian, hi Briss, hi Shane, hi Keegan, hi This Blows. Well, this doesn't blow. But that's just the name of the person, right? How's everyone doing? Are you guys ready for one final stream on Camtaso Park as a farewell to this project? And this stream is going to be a little bit different. That, well, actually, yeah, I was going to say different, but that's kind of going to be similar to what I did when I toured S-Dance Park a little while ago, about a month ago, I want to say. And in the sense that I'm just going to tour it. The perk of being the creator is that I'm going to be able to tell a few anecdotes about literally everything in the park, and also be able to take some questions in from the chat and answer those, and yeah, so that's the idea, and that's why I wanted to do this as a stream and not as a video. I know it's gonna make less views in a way. I have debated with myself whether I should do a video or a stream, but I thought, yeah, a stream is definitely way better, and you can avoid all the dodgy bits that you have fast. Exactly. Thankfully, the inside of the park is not half-assed at all. It's the outside. Like, as long as we're outside of the inside, sorry, of the park, we're good. Hey Osna, hey Mineral, hey Tint Pilots, hey .net. Please keep yadding to fill my rutted brain. Hey Andric, welcome. Yeah, the heat is fun actually in northern France. It's not too bad. Let's get rid of this and get down on the ground. There we go. So yes, we're gonna do everything in first person tonight. How do you guys feel about me not having the HUD on? It's it's not what I'm used to doing, but I feel like for it to be a little bit more cinematic, it's a little bit better. How do you guys feel about that? Can we keep it off? .net is saying 30 degrees tomorrow. Damn, I'm literally going to start working out tomorrow as well, so that's gonna be crazy. Absolutely crazy. My apartment can't handle that. I'm not the god of the weather that Dewey. I'm so sorry. But yes, so anyway, let's get started now that everyone is here. No HUD so cinematic. There we go. So, ooh, that was a weird frame jump here. Probably an autosave. So as you can see, first thing I want to point out is, of course, we're on console. If you're here, I assume that no, I am not the god of weather. I'm so sorry. I wish I were. That would be weird. Honestly, can you imagine? I'll cancel my Yan Shrine order then. Yeah, that might have been a scam by I don't know, Broccoli or Hendrik, probably as well, or probably the .net as well. Who knows? But yeah, this is a console park, so I didn't do any of the usual car park, any of the usual ticket booths. Actually, I remember there's one guy who has toured the the park so far, the finished version of the park at the very least. And he pointed out, rightfully so, that there is no ticket booths. And I very honestly did not think about the ticket booths. I did think about security though, and I really like the security, especially since I was able to incorporate those. Like the security booths were done like way before the update 5 got here, and so that was a nice coincidence that I could include those. I'm a little bit sad that we cannot really recolor the phones here, but hey, it's fine. There's a little bit of an antenna going through the roof here, but hey, yeah, it's a little bit big. It's a little bit big. Sorry. What are the components on my... Hey, .NET, thank you so much for the gifted membership. And it went to Bentoka as well, that's nice. What are the components of your computer to make it look like this? This is not a computer, this is a PS5. Sorry to disappoint. And yeah, no, I those... Fun fact, those metal detectors and the technique to hide the park entrance, because this is actually the park entrance. If we, I don't know if we, yeah, there it is. Wait, it's console. I've only realized that. Yeah, I've always played on console. Like everything you see that is Planet Coaster content in on my channel is from a PS5. And yeah, this actually first came from the future park, because I've done the entrance and the security booth checkpoint, sorry, for that park first, and then I just ported them over to not Planet Coaster, to Camtaso Park. Lillian, can you do some building tips and trips at some point? I think it would help a lot. I did try doing some form of tutorial in the past. I don't think it works well with, I don't know, my mentality and my format as well. So I don't think I want to do those. No, I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint. But here we are, the Dreamweaver. Yeah, tutorials are so hard to make. And I don't have that teacher aura, if that makes any sense. It's something really hard to capture, and this is not something that I have. But yes, look at the Dreamweaver. Love that piece. Every console project keeps... Keegan, sorry, I have to say the names first. Every console project keeps surprising me, because as a PC player I could never get used to the building mechanics on console. It feels weird to think all of this was made with a controller. To be fair, you can actually plug a keyboard. Actually, I do have a keyboard. This is how I hide the HUD, right? You can see that with on the bottom right here. But once I start using the controller, you can see that I actually do use the controller for literally everything. In fact, when you see my build streams, this is what I use as well. But yeah, you can plug in a mouse and keyboard if you want to. I just learned the game with a controller, so it's just easier for me at this point. I think I will try to, once I get on PC, to learn the controls of the PC, obviously. But yeah. While struggling to building a... Jonathan, sorry, I have to say the names every time. Jonathan says, while struggling building a park entrance, but have got the main park nailed. Any tips? Not really, just have some, you know, generic turnstiles, perhaps a security checkpoint right here, like I have right here. Ticket booths. You know, it's kind of like a checklist, really. An entrance. Guest services as well might be a good idea, even though there's literally nothing here. Breaking the immersion, yay! Reminds me of when Maddie used to do spotlights on my park. I missed Maddie, to be honest. And then fake toilets as well. Yeah, Maddie used to just go through doors and realize, oh, there's nothing there. Yeah. In my humble opinion, if a door is closed, you have no business going through the door, right? Even if technically this is a toilet. Anyway, yes, so something really interesting with the design of the Dreamweaver is that it's really not the same as the Chronos at Epic Universe. First of all, I think it's smaller. Not completely sure about that, but I do think it is smaller. And part of the reason for that is that you have to not see it from the other areas in the park, and there are only a few points that are not within the rides, obviously, not when you're riding the rides, right? But a few points in the park where you can actually see the Dreamweaver. There's one in the Viking area and one in the Pueblo de Saguaro Guitaro area as well. And yeah, at first, this little frame thingy was going to be used for custom media of the characters that would present the characters here and as you walked to the park. To be fair, in hindsight, maybe this is something that I should have kept, knowing that I could have gone all the way to 100%, but I didn't want to risk it, and so instead I used the colors and the sort of emblems of every single character here and area. So the colors are from the official art for the characters that you can find on, I don't know, Instagram, probably the reels or even the shorts on YouTube presenting the characters. And then I have the specific item or vehicle tied to the area. So for example, obviously you have the Planet Coaster logo for Camtaso City, then you have what's it called? Cactus Express, sorry, for Pueblo de Saguaro Guitaro. This one is on fire, this is very cool. Then you have Mjolnir for the Viking area, the surfboard for obviously Bodies Bay, the owl that's on the what's it called? Oh damn it! I forgot the lyre. Is it? Yes, it's called the lyre. Lyre. So yeah, Crescendo Melodies has this little owl on the lyre, and this is supposed to represent that. And then obviously the submarine, for obvious reasons, for Station Reef. And yeah, that is about it, really. Another really cool detail is actually the movement of the dream energy in those two side towers that are supposed to bring you in the park, bring you towards the park, you know. It's kind of like two boosters on a kid's toy, if that makes any sense. You know, like flywheels essentially on the Nerf blaster, if that makes any sense. That was the idea. And then obviously you have the water flowing, little water feature, just because I wanted to have, I don't know, just something, some more movement essentially. And something that you guys might have not noticed is that there's a sun and gears turning on top of this this Dreamweaver here. And obviously this is completely linked to the dream projector. Is that what I yeah, I think I've called it the dream projector. I don't even know where my lore is, but that's kind of the idea. Yeah, and have you seen Digital Dance Park? It's insane. It is bigger. You should check it out. I haven't really checked out. I don't really like watching some some Planet Coaster on my off time. So no, I haven't. The rare Planet Coaster content creators that I follow are really lucky that I do so, because there are not a lot essentially, and I tend to prioritize the smaller ones compared to Dan, who has like how many subs does he have? Something like 80,000, something like that. I find myself more inspired by those small creators. Like for example, the two of them are in the chat right now, Mineral or Dejui. Mineral, who, by the way, I was just in your park just a second ago before the stream. Not a second ago, obviously, now 25 minutes ago. but yeah, I love it, man. I love it. It's so simple, but you know, the simplistic nature of it makes it good. And sometimes less is more, you know what I mean? It's kind of how Moomin builds as well, and I really like that philosophy. 119k subs! Yeah, so he's a massive YouTuber then. And here, yeah, something that I love as well is this little Dreamkeeper, however you want to call that, honestly, I have no idea. 5,915 subscribers as of Monday, I think, last week, and now we are at, let me check real quick, 6,106, so yeah, it's going well. It's really going well. Yes, your name is on the floor. There it is. Wonky Builder. Really, really nice. Yeah, if you see your name, you've made it. you're in one of my parks, and this is something I will definitely try to incorporate as soon as the next series starts. And can I swap it to 6,000 live? No, that's the idea behind this. This is supposed to be a time capsule, essentially. So when I come back to the park, like right now, for example, I can see where I was when I stopped the park and look back on the past, essentially. That's the idea behind this piece right here. Instead of, you know, constantly updating it. It would be like so stupid. So stupid. And that way you're kind of immortalized as well. If you're not a member after, for some reason, after the park has released, you can find your name here a few months, years, if not decades after. Who knows? But yeah, that's the idea essentially behind this. A few more details. Those are buildings that I have not shown in the video, so you've only seen them. Sorry, if they are if you've toured the park already on your own from the workshop. And so this is quite simple. This is lost and found essentially, and concierge as well. But on the other side, we have Oswald's and Eugene's. So it's supposed to say complexity meter, but it's a nice little Easter egg. Really like this little Easter egg. I'm in a time capsule of a random Frenchman. I'm not random. I would hope not, at least. Are you going to do that for all of your parks? Yes, all of my parks, because this is essentially what you pay for when you become a channel supporter. So it's part of the benefits of becoming a channel supporter. Have you played for the entirety of the career mode? I have not played a single minute of the career mode. I do not care about the career mode whatsoever. I have 1,600 and then some hours on the sandbox mode, but not in the career mode, no. Hey, big boy! That's a really funny name. Welcome to the stream. The other YouTuber didn't get the joke of Oswald and Eugene. Yeah, you have to be on console to get the joke, the reference. But I hope this is one that is gonna make the console players laugh or something. This was kind of the idea, the intent behind it. And yeah, little water feature. You can see Cosmic Cow in the distance. Really like this this water feature. And something that I started doing only with this park are the pipes for the water feature as well, which are all linked to a manhole cover. So since we don't really... Actually, I should put a stop sign. I've seen Mineral use that in his latest video as pancakes. And I feel like they would do great as manhole covers. So maybe if I use this and the stop sign, maybe it'll look good. But yeah, every single time you'll see a water feature with water jet somewhere, you'll see that from now on. What side should we start on, chat? Chief Beef or Gulpy? Let me know, and I'm gonna catch up with the chat while you guys tell me. Frontier tried so hard to make us love Oswald and Eugene, but instead they're going down as those guys from the meter. Definitely, yes. Do you use controller or keyboard and mouse for this game? I totally use controller, just because I've learned it like 3 years ago like that, and I didn't even know that you could plug a keyboard at the time I learned the controller scheme. Sorry, weird English there. So essentially, I just went on with that in my mind essentially, and I'm so used to it right now that I'm kind of scared of going on PC and trying the keyboard and mouse. But yeah, everything you see in my videos, from the first video I've put on Planet Coaster Console Edition to this park, sorry, has been built with a controller. I just slapped down some renovation signs and call it a day. Yeah, for sure. I might do that in the next park. The next park is going to be really special, but we have to get there. I still have a lot of work to finish the first episode, so bear with me, right? Bear with me. So, Gulpy. Not a single Chief Beef. I feel really bad for the little Patty officer. But let's follow Queen Splash. Love those animations on the characters, by the way. Really love that. And she's visiting the Gulpy factory as well. So yes, this is the Gulpy factory. Really interesting build, because at first I tried to build a greenhouse, essentially. And yeah, that did not work. That did not work at all. The reason was that you could see around the build, and so that was really bad. So then I started enclosing it, and then I started making this more rainforest cafe kind of build. Did not work at all either, because the sightlines were completely bad inside that small shell of a build. And so I ended up settling on a steampunk factory that would be, in my headcanon, the first factory of Gulpy, where he started his business, and now obviously it's this very grand brand that everyone knows in the Planet Coaster universe. But this is where it all started, essentially. And yeah, you can see that little bottle here, classic bottle, with the little Gulpy coming out of it. Really nice. And I really like this sight line as well. When you come out of the shop, you can see the Chief Beef in the distance. It's totally, I don't want to say game design, but kind of as well. It's kind of, you know, you've exited this park when you're touring the park yourself, and then you see, oh, there's something else on the other side of the water feature, and it's a helicopter as well. I want to see that because they're not in the game, and then you just go on your merry way. It's really funny in that sense. I tried to design it. Oh, there's the star here. And he's also here. Yeah. Love using screens, honestly. I wish we had more media in the console version. We have quite a few, honestly. Actually, we didn't have videos in Planet Coaster Console Edition, so it's a big upgrade for us. And yeah, using screens in that manner here really made me want to incorporate screens in my PC project. So the big PC project that I've been planning, hello, for about a year now, since the first trailer came out. I want to incorporate those, definitely, but we'll get to that obviously in the future. Let's just talk about this space because it's really nice. You know, you have the menu here with the T-Rex Soda and Raptor Energy, which are definitely some RMC references. We need the Raptor in the game Frontier, and of course we also have the Tarot Iced Tea, which is kind of a reference to RMC. It's kind of what I needed something with iced tea essentially, and that was the best I came up with. But it's also like, I don't know, the pterodactyl could be, I don't know, RMC's inverted single rail thing. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one day. I should catch up with the chat. If you want to make the transition easier for yourself, I'm pretty sure you can use controller on PC too and still have all the functions. But you'll have to fact check me on that. Yeah, you can. You definitely can, yes. I did know that. I just want to force myself using the keyboard and mouse to not only fit in a sense, but also because I've heard it's definitely faster, and I definitely want to streamline some things. Don't know if you remember me from 1 or 2 Wednesdays ago, but I'm back. Yes, I do remember you, Ziav. Welcome back. You have a single rail coaster, but it's 2 trains. Yeah, two per rows, I think. Glapix is giving us a $10 donation, €10, sorry, donation, and says, "Hi Yan, I want a T-Rex soda." Well, which one would be the T-Rex soda actually? Let's say it's the green one here. So there you go. Oh no, she stole it from me. Why is Cosmic Cow here? She's vibing. Oh yeah. Gulpy is a T-Rex. In fact, the full name of the character is Gulpy Rex. But the brand is Gulpy. Hey MB, welcome to the stream. What's my #1 coaster? There, I'll give you a big heart, Glapix. What's my #1 coaster? At this point, it's Voltron. It definitely will change as I ride more coasters, but at this point it's definitely Voltron. And yes, really fun details here, like dinosaurs, sorry. Dinosaurs only, sorry, I went back to French for a second here. Then we have really funny contraption names, I guess. So you have the Banana Blaster here, the Mongo Muncher, every time I say Muncher, the Lychee Launcher, and the Kiwi Cruncher. And then you have this little fun thing, recycle, save the dinosaurs for the bins, going back to the system. And something that you guys might have not realized, but this, I know I've said that a few streams ago when we toured the work-in-progress version of the park. 08/06/2025 is the date of opening, technically, of this park. So that's a nice little Easter egg. You're back! Sorry, this character is so silly in my mind. Look at that. Look at this. Absolutely crazy. The things you could do with custom media is insane. For sure, I have like crazy ideas for custom media uses in rides and in the way I would produce it as well, because I know most people use custom media, use AI with custom media, you know, generate a picture and call it a day. I feel like I want to do in-planet coaster stuff first, then record it, and add those medias inside the park so that it's more believable. If that makes any sense, that's my idea with the what's it called? Sorry, I'll have to take a little sip of water, but with the custom media, this is what I want essentially. There we are. Quick sip of water. Oh my goodness! First of all, .NET, thank you so much for the second gifted membership. That goes to Mineral as well. This is nice. And oh my goodness! I'm sorry, my voice is not great. But Night Owl, thank you so much for the 1999 US dollars donation. Hey, when we get to it, please grab me that Bisty burger for sure. I'll definitely do. Also, my dad knows French in his early 20s. He was a missionary in French West Africa for a couple of years. That's nice. Nice to know. That would be so exhausting if you had to bounce around the entire day, for sure. Watch as soon as Voltron gets a clone at Fuji-Q Island. At least someone will form the... Yeah. I don't know what you're saying at this point, honestly. I've read the end of the comment and I was like, what? What's going on? I feel like my voice is not going well right now. Hold on. Let me have a bigger sip of water. This is so weird. I've cleaned up my apartment this past weekend, and I'm allergic to dust, and I felt irritated in my throat since then. It's so weird. Let's see. Also, for the Pterodite tea, you can make it a reference to the Pterodactyl track, which is a new track for the RMC iBox coasters. Really? Oh, that people created on No Limits. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Let's say that it is. Is Planet Coaster 2 on the Switch too? Not that I know. No, I'm not sure. I don't think it is, no. I fear that this park will become untouchable with the power of a PC. Probably. I don't know. Something that will definitely be good with a PC park is no limits, essentially. I don't have to worry about a complexity meter. And Cosmic Cow is all the way over there now. But yeah, let's go say bye to Bulky. Bien sûr. Bien sûr. Oui, oui. Yes, let's go say bye to Gulpy. I'm so sorry. It's so warm out right now, and I'm warm as well. And go to Chief Beef. Yay! She's following us everywhere. So, can you make parks at such high quality on PC? Well, I think so. We'll see. Bulky! Yeah, so now it's Chief Beef, the Chief Beef police station, and right away, when I made this build, all of this, like this build right here, the Gulpy factory and everything, all of this did not exist. So I was a little bit skeptical with the style of the build being more modern than the more, I don't know, I call it the dream punk style, right? But you know, since it's a city, I suppose it works. And then you have this little chief beef thing. Chief beef rotating sign here. Really like that. The menu is really classic, essentially. You have the chief burger, which is a classic cheeseburger. Then you have the Shane burger. I don't know if Shane is still here in the park. In the park. in the chat, but Shane is one of my moderators, and I wanted to have one shout out per moderator in the park. So we have Shane burger here, which is the vegetarian option of the chief beef, and we also have Miss Barba, which is shouted out in the tavern that we'll get later on during the tour, and also Birdie, who has a sunken ship in Station Reef, but we'll get there in the future. And of course, the firefighter burger, because I love spicy stuff, so I had to include a spicy burger, essentially. Then we have the welcome citizen with the little burger here. Police station. Oh, this is so loud in here, I'm so sorry. And yes, you do have a bench somewhere. It's not really a bench, it's more of a sign, but it happens to be on a bench to be a little hidden, you know what I mean? But anyway, we'll get there in the future, don't worry. So yeah, we have those little ordering screens. Hey Pigeon, welcome back to the chat. The only unfortunate thing is that I discovered a bug with those, so when you have multiple muted screens, it basically unmutes them all. It's a little bit sad, but it is what it is. And what else do we have? We have this little Easter egg. The first one that's ready is the 1608, and obviously then the logical continuation of that. 1608, obviously, the NBK 1608, if you didn't know. Then classic kitchen stuff. I always imagine with my quick service restaurants that the kitchen is back there, right? So that's why you have those. That way you can have the burgers placed here. They're still heated until the guest have chosen their food, and then they can just go on and eat at for example, the interrogation window, whatever you want to call it. Ideally, I would have had a screen here with custom media and a scene playing out, but unfortunately, yeah, that was just not the case. This little blackboard with the clues is just perfect, totally inspired by KFC and probably other food chains as well, but mostly KFC. It's so funny. And also a great way to, you know, fill the space, because otherwise this is just I've noticed a mistake. I'm gonna have to update the park later. Why is this not here? That's so weird. Okay, nobody said anything about this. Let's see, I'm still noticing mistakes, so if the park updates from time to time, this is why. And then of course you have so wait, hold on, because now I'm avoiding that space, but there's a little secret here, and more specifically, the top secret, the middle secret, and the bottom secret, which is probably my favorite joke in the entire park. We also have the evidence disposal as well. Indeed, Ziav. The evidence disposal, it's so funny, because it's when you've made a crime scene of your meal. This is what I said in the script, I believe. Yeah, and that's actually so good. Yeah, I know. Peak comedy from NBK here. Yeah, the chief beef is really... When you see only the chief beef, right, and that's basically was the first real building, aside from the Dreamweaver, obviously, but the first real building that I had in Camtaso City, and so I wasn't sure because it looked really modern and everything, and really generic, you know, kind of like your generic fast food place, but it does have its own personality, so I'm kind of proud of it. and I don't think I would redo it differently. But I'll I'll definitely have to fix that that little issue. Anyway, let's go here to the facade of King Coaster's treasure. So this says, I don't remember how to pronounce it in Latin because I've never done any Latin. Actually, that's not true. I've done a little bit of Latin when I was 11, I think. But I think this says memories are the true treasure or something like that. The real treasure, I think. And yeah, that's because it's a souvenir shop essentially. And so you have the King Coaster's treasure, obviously closed because of the complexity meter, unfortunately. But we're used to it. And otherwise, this place would have been the main gift shop of the area. That would have been great, honestly, to have a gift shop. I just didn't know if I would have the necessary percentage, and I didn't want to risk it, so I just made it look like it's closed, you know. So it's closed for refurbishment in the canon of the park, but for us it's definitely closed for the complexity meter. So many things to see. Yes, this, for example. The... I don't even know what I called those in the episode. You bet you would slay a gift shop interior. Well, you're in luck because there are some in the park. We'll see that in the future. Don't worry. But yeah, those things that I've made using update 5 and the invisible paths. The invisible paths are such a lifesaver for the next park. Essentially, you'll see what I've done. I've started the final update, but it's gonna be the biggest, and I'm really excited to show you guys what is up with that. Yes, the dream projector on the path here, basically channeling the dream energy to... Oh, I don't remember the name of this. I'm so sorry about that. It's supposed to be my park. I should know it. But basically powering the portals to the other realms, the other marvelous realms. Then you have the Queen Splash. And I didn't even talk about the Camtaso City Museum. Sorry. Yeah. So let's try to say that actually. Experiri Historium Quasi EBS. I think it's something like that. And that means experience history as if you were there. And to me, that was always the perfect transition from Camtaso City to the more historical lands, right? So, because not only near Midgard is there, but also the Nymph Woods as well. It's actually funny, I never noticed that near Midgard and Nymph Woods both start with the same 2 letters. It's really fun here. Really fun that. And I love those fake windows as well. I'm probably gonna reuse those in the future at some point. But I really, really do love those fake windows with the drapes that are not deep at all. But you know, with a black background, you really can't tell. And of course the Valkyrie statues to make it look like the place is guarded by Valkyries. The village is guarded by Valkyries. Anyway, Queen Splash's fountain right here, really inspired by Epic Universe's big fountain in front of the Helios Grand Hotel. You can even see that with those little, not so little actually, but those how would you call those actually? It's kind of like pipe thingies, but they sort of have those in Epic Universe as well, and that was definitely the intention behind that. And then again, pipe going there, and we have those the Cosmos Fountain. Thank you so much, Fun is Fun. Yes, so the Cosmos Fountain here is the Queen Splash Fountain. Sorry, because I had to theme something to Queen Splash, and that was the most obvious thing to theme to. The most obvious thing to. Oh, this sentence doesn't make any sense in my mind. You get my meaning, right? Let's move on. I'm embarrassed. Then we have probably what started my sci-fi obsession. Because if you guys haven't been to the previous stream, but we've done together a sci-fi vending machine, and it's awesome, and it's inspired me to do even more sci-fi, so it might end up being a side project and everything. It's gonna be great, but this is what started it all, the Cosmic Cow Spaceport. First of all, we have that really cool water feature here. Love this water feature. It's gravity defying, and it's making it look like the spaceship is creating that sort of water effect here, but it's not really. It's not. It's definitely it's kind of like a counterweight here, and then again, manhole cover here, and we have the Moo Moo license plate as well. Obviously, love those little tables as well. Like, they're really simple, but just the fact that I put those lights in make them really sci-fi. They're just aquatic tables, to be honest, but you know, it does the job. It definitely does the job. Sci-fi bins, naturally. Menu as well. I don't think I showed that in the video, but the Milky Way shake, the Meteor shake, and the UFO shake, and then the ice creams are the Planet Cone, the Satellite Cone, and the Supernova Cone. There it is. And we also have the Mover ship right here. This is something I've done for Miss Barbare, actually. Because at first, So if you guys didn't know, the Camtaso Park started as a blueprint series. In fact, the first episode was only showcasing the blueprints. Buddy's Jawsome, I think it's called on the workshop. And so I had one blueprint planned for every single character that was in the game in Planet Coaster 2. And when I realized that I was going to make a park and then not going to be able to do all of my ideas because of the complexity meter, I reached out to Ms. Barbare and said, I have this idea for a Cosmic Rewind, like literally a Cosmic Rewind inspired attraction using the Vekoma Omni Coaster, and I wanted to be called Cosmic Cow Rewind and have that song playing during the ride. And so I at first I was supposed to do the coaster for her and do this in the Spaceport Moo area of her park for Nebula Adventura. I did not end up doing that because I just don't have the time at all, but she is definitely working on that at the moment. It's going to be a massive update to our park, probably like one of the bookends to Nebula Adventure. So if you don't follow Miss Barbare yet, you definitely should. She's one of my moderators as well. And in fact, speaking of Miss Barbare, if you click on that NPC right here, that vendor right here, she's called Miss Barbare as well. So there you go, little Easter egg. This is the only named employee in the park, and I wanted to put her in the Cosmic Cow Spaceport because of that link that we have together. But yeah, the Cosmic Cow Spaceport is a spaceport. It's like an airport mixed with a milkshake ice cream parlor. There's not much else to it. Hey Ice Frills, sorry I missed you in the chat. And check-in desk, like at an airport. And then you would have to go through the in the elevator, but obviously rocket pilots only, and it's only leading to the back of house area. But the idea is to take the elevator and go inside that tower to one of the mover ships to go somewhere else in the galaxy. That's the idea. Thank you, Shane. Thank you so much for the compliments. Did you miss a lot? No, not at all. You've missed most of Camtaso City and the entrance. That's it. We're only getting started, and it's already 50 minutes in, if not an hour, honestly. Another really cool detail is that little spaceship here. Wait, what? I wasn't even home. Now I remember now. I think that's .NET, thanks to .NET. Hi Bentoka, nice to see you, and nice to see you as a member as well. You look good in green. Yeah, that little spaceship flying around this this little starfield here. Really, really fun. Well, looks like we're gonna spend the night together, everyone. Yes, once again. Once again. I'm gonna get a move on. The other... what's the name? I'm gonna pull out the script. I'm so sorry. I have to find the name again. Where is it? Camtaso 7... Should be here somewhere. The Dream Quadrant. There it is. That's a Dream Quadrant. I found it. Yes, so the Dream Quadrants. Those are Dream Quadrants, essentially focusing the dream energy from the Dreamweaver sent by the Dream Projector, and they create those portals to other marvelous realms. And this one is the one for Pueblo de Saguaro Guitaro, but just before we get to the next area, we have the Nightmare Disposal, which is our final and first actually of the... So final of the series, final toilet of the series, but first one of tonight, obviously. And this one in Latin, I think it says cleanses evil from dreams, something like that. So yeah, that's the idea essentially. And honestly, it might be my favorite toilet interior yet, just because it's so classy, right? Honestly, while I'm at a toilet, I think I might have a toilet break, so I'm gonna, yeah, let the screen right here. If anyone joins the chat, please tell them that I'm at the toilet, but I need to have a toilet break right now, so I'll see you in a minute, okay? And we are back from the toilet break. Honestly, doing a toilet break in an actual toilet was another level of meta I had not reached yet. Yeah. Anyway, something also that I didn't point out as Gulpy is dancing around. I added those in the park, like all throughout the park we'll see those, just because I thought the park is really, even though it's a loop, it might be a little confusing to people, and so I thought it would be a nice thing to help players more than, you know, guests in general. I mean, lore-wise, it also helps, but yeah, I think that was a nice call, and everything is color-coded to the rings that we have on the Dreamweaver as well. So you'll see those colors here are literally the same ones that we use right there. Except the blue, which is Camtaso City, obviously. You're here again! Well, thank goodness we're leaving this area. Anyway, while I welcome Ben to the channel supporters, thank you so much for becoming a channel supporter. Where do you guys want to head first? Shall we head to near Midgard first, or should we head to Pueblo de Saguaro Guitaro first? I feel like the Pueblo would be better, because then we will have the progression of the builds, right? And on Mjolnir as well. So what do you guys think? How would Yen feel if he sees a screenshot of evil Yen in a toilet in Camtaso? I would feel great. Whatever I think it is better? Okay, let's do not Camtaso. Let's do the Pueblo then. So yes, really nice portal here. Really steampunk, honestly, more than industrial, but I felt like it's the link between the two areas. You have this little dreampunk influence everywhere. You have the gears here and everything. One thing that's actually really interesting that I've learned about Epic Universe, and more importantly, Celestial Park, is that they did not want a single gear. You will not see a single gear in Celestial Park. And the reason for that is that they did not want to do steampunk. They wanted to do Art Deco. And so yeah, that's the whole story behind that. But yes, let's go to the Pueblo de Saguaro Guitaro. What's the workshop code? I have it somewhere. Actually, I should update the description while I'm at it. Give me just a second. There it is. So I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. And I'm gonna update? What is update? I'm gonna update there it is. The description as well. There we go. That way it'll be easier to tell you it's in the description in the future. But there it is. That's the share code here. And yeah, bienvenidos en Pueblo de Saguaro Guitaro. Real big change in ambience. Like honestly, it's so. Probably my favorite part of this park is just going from here, which is a serene garden. In fact, I call this the Inspiration Garden. I don't think I've told you guys that in the video. But first of all, I just want to. Oh, hello. Just want to make the lighting back to 1 PM because it's a better lighting for the rest of the park. There we go. So yes, the Pueblo de Saguaro Guitaro is our Mexican mining town, essentially set deep in a canyon. Look at that, perfect timing. With Cactus Express, a Gerstlauer family coaster, more along the lines of Pegasus Express and Fire Chaser Express. Is it Fire Chaser Express? Fire Chaser, you know what the one I mean anyway. Music's really loud in this one. And yeah, so big. So the one thing that some people have said in the comments of this episode, I think it was episode 3, was that Mexico is supposed to be colorful and everything, but that was not the intent with this part of the park, essentially. This part of the park is supposed to be deep in a canyon inside a desert, which is really dry, and it's supposed to be this old mining town, which is kind of not supposed to run like it is running now, but they've started the mining operation again, and there is Cactus Express now. Essentially, the storyline is a bit janky, I know. It's not good. But hey, speaking of gift shops, this is our first gift shops. Speaking of gift shops, I haven't spoken about gift shops for like 20 minutes, but since Mineral talked about gift shops earlier, here's our first gift shop where you can buy some cactus, you can buy some tiny ends, some towels, some posters, some balls. Always gotta love buying balls, and some cups as well. And adjacent to the El Burro, Comerciante Legendario, we have the Mule Kick machine, which has that legendary sequence. It's the whole excuse for the legendary sequence in episode 3 that I've done, that unfortunately was a copyright claim, but it was worth it. Just for the sake of singing this song to you guys, it was definitely worth it. Also, remnants of the original plans for the backstages here. Unfortunately, no backstage. Thank you, console complexity meter. So worth it. Absolutely, Breeze. Absolutely. Then a custom toilet here. And again, you can see already the difference and the perks of having custom toilets, right? Like, though this is very different from, and let's go there because it's like right next door, from this one. Like, every single themed toilet is worth it just because of the immersion factor. And then of course you can just make it a closed building and have a closed door, and then just say, yeah, the toilet is in there or whatever. But it's actually what I'm gonna do in the next park, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I feel like it adds value to the park for sure. Oh, there's no decal here. Go figure. Then you have this little fountain, which is the same statue as the River Muse, the personification of the River Muse in the Nymph Woods. And fun fact, since the River Muse is mentioned, you can also find the River Muse, so the Muse statue, let's call it that on top of the Dreamweaver here, because obviously the Muse is inspiration, it's dreams, it's imagination, yada yada yada. You get the idea, right? What else? Yes, of course, Viva la Vegan. Of course, the Mojo Dojo Casa House de los Burritos. I forgot I had that reference in there. It's a reference to the Barbie movie, obviously. When Ken says that takes over the house of Barbie, and he's like, it's now my Mojo Dojo Casa house. And so I was like, I have a Mexican themed area, I have to make that reference. So worth it. And this is when I started doing menus as well. Actually, I started menus back in Buddy's Bay. But yes, you have the Saguaro Guitaro menu, the El Burro menu, and the... Sorry, that was a burp. And the Minero menu. So what are those? Spicy wheat burrito, okay. A tofu burrito, oh, that's gonna smell. The double chili burrito, oh, you're definitely gonna need those toilets now. And you have those extras, which are the cerveza, so that's beer essentially, the tequila shot, and the mule kick. Mule kick, which is this thing right here, essentially. And yeah, I didn't point that out, but this is from Call of Duty as well. Call of Duty Zombies, more precisely, but that's the old design of the mule kick machine from Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 3, actually. And then they changed it for Black Ops Cold War. But I love this little space because of the... well, they're perfect timing. Just because of the train passing by. And of course you have the implied seating upstairs. Because I've made this little terrace that you cannot, unfortunately, access. But you know, it's there. It's there to sell the immersion. It's always about, you know, every single piece that you place in your park should serve the immersion well. That's my ethos, essentially, when I build a park. Of course, here you have some backstages here. I feel like those buildings are far more fleshed out than what you'll find in Camtaso City. Camtaso City was definitely made on a budget. What else? Yes, the Agua Limpia, which is very deliberately the only... I just looked at the chat for a second. Oh my lord, didn't notice that the Mojo Dojo Casa House is in my daily vocabulary since that movie came out. Yeah. It's always really fun to have little references here and there to things you like, essentially. And the Barbie movie was definitely one of my favorite movies of the past decade. And of the past like couple of years at least. Hold on, it's about to be 2 years old. I'm old. I'm turning 25 in like 2 months. It's crazy. What day are we? Hold on. In 2 months and 5 days I'll be 25. How crazy is that? I started the channel when I was 22. To put it into perspective. Actually 21, now that I think about it. I started in 2022 and before my birthday. So that, yeah, I was 21 when I started. Hey, Jovencito. How am I? I'm doing great. My voice is a little bit weird because I've cleaned the room and I'm allergic to dust, so that's weird. You're old 25. You're making me feel like a dinosaur. Every time I want to say dinosaur, like in French, sorry. But yeah. So yeah, anyway, back to the water feature. Everyone's talking about age now. I'm so sorry I triggered this. Yes, Saguaro Guitaro, which is our mascot here. Love this. Why is it so cloudy? Cloudy, sorry. Love this guy. Can you do a little guitar here? No? No, you don't want to? Okay, well, screw you. But yeah, the only water feature in the area, which is very deliberate, and in fact we even have this little what is supposed to be a fountain here, but it's not, and it's very deliberate to make it feel dry, you know, so that this park is very dry and that every source of water would only be coming from this water tower here, and this thing going to take the water from underneath the earth and everything. Oh, the train is not dueling. What is going on here? It's supposed to be dueling. I'm so sorry. I thought it was gonna be cool, but it wasn't. Might be a problem with the dispatches. For some reason, sometimes the ops are not great. But hey, we have black gold here. My birthday is the 16th of August. Yes, Marvy. It's it also happens to be the roller coaster day, I think it's called, which is a nice coincidence that I did not plan. So yes, black gold is, there we go. This is the dueling that I was talking about. Black gold is a coffee, a cafe, in a sense. But it's definitely more like a stand and not like a breakfast place, you know. But then again, this is where I did this this coffee machine that's on the workshop as well. Really, really nice. If you want to download that, you can find that on my workshop page. And also, you have those tiny, tiny cups, which are essentially I can't see that because I can't go lower than that. But they're mythology pottery, essentially, and then you have this thing to clean them, essentially. I say essentially a lot, don't I? And of course, we have Cactus Express, which is really, like, when you come... Sorry, I'm 7 years old. You're the 15th of August, that's nice to know. But yes, when you arrive, that's a better word. To Cactus Express, you have this beautiful, beautiful view, and I've always wanted to do this sort of not circular, but like curved stairway from either side of a building, and cute cyberpunk music. I know exactly what you're talking about, did you? That is a great reference. But sorry. So sorry. That is a great reference to Dewey, I'm not gonna lie. Oh goodness me. How much time did I spend on that park? Nicholas asks. So I don't know exactly the amount, but I know it's over 1,000, and if I were to guess, it would be between 1,200 and 1,300, essentially. I may edit that. For sure. Go ahead. I don't understand because my English is very bad, but you're French. I am French, yes. So anyway, yes, I wanted to have this very, very cool entrance with the exit right on top of it. And it's also a really nice use of space as well. So I really recommend you guys do that, to have your queue underneath the station like this. Very, again, very Pegasus Express. There it is. Just for a second, for someone who speaks French, I'm just gonna switch to French for a second, but oui, je te comprends. Mais merci pour dire que je suis le goat. Merci. C'était un français un peu bizarre, hein, je sais, mais t'inquiète pas, je suis vraiment français. Anyway, back to not to French, to English. So yes, I really like the queue interactions with the ride, and it's also really cool how again the train interactions are so off. It's so weird. It's supposed to work, but now it doesn't. Why? Why doesn't it work? And yeah, you have little items that are supposed to suggest the mining theme. You have some coal here. I should have added some pickaxes actually, but I didn't think of that. In fact, I think I wanted to add Western items, and more specifically cacti around the area. But like the actual saguaro cacti, and I didn't end up doing that because I thought it would be more interesting to have this sort of time capsule of how the park looked well, not the park, the area looked and was made while the game didn't have those pieces. So yeah, another little interaction with these the start of the ride. Really, really nice. Then you have this little upwards. Oh, there it is. There it goes. You go upwards to the station. Oh, you're doing a little dance. Are you okay? He's okay now. And yeah, I was talking about how you can see the Dreamweaver from really specific places. This is one of them, but you can only see the top of it. So anyway, this is our station. Again, very industrial, almost steampunk in some cases. Like, this is really steampunk, but it's more supposed to be industrial than steampunk. Oh, sorry, Shane. Shane, you're going. Okay. See you, Shane. Thank you so much for joining. Which coaster type do you think needs to be in Planet Coaster 2? For me, it would be like an actual Intamin Blitz train or something like that. Yeah, anything from the Intamin Blitz to the Max Striker to one that I really want is the Mac powered suspended coaster, I think it's called. You know, Arthur at Europa Park or How to Train Your Dragon at Motion Gate. That kind of thing. I would love the Raptor as well, the RMC Raptor, the Intamin Hot Racer, the Vekoma STC and SFC. All of those. Yeah, mods are out. But we can't have mods on console. I've got to be honest, those mods look really good. It's just that I don't care because I'm a console player, and if I were on PC, I would probably be tempted to just download those out of curiosity. I don't think they're out though, are they? Like they're in early access or something. Anyway, let's ride Cactus Express now. Oop, sorry about that. Yeah, more Vekoma stuff would be nice. Anytime now. See, this is the part you don't see of the videos. And there we go! It is nice to dream though. I feel like there's such highly requested models that Frontier has to listen to us in a way. Fun fact, that little scene here, it wasn't in the original version of this area. And this little scene is why I lost my diorama contest submission, quote unquote. Public early access. Is it like a Star Citizen kind of thing? I feel like it is. You find it fascinating that there's not a single chain lift coaster. Oh yeah. Didn't even realize that. I just wanted to make very specific coasters. I did not really... At first, in fact, if I were able to do everything that I wanted to do, there was supposed to be a Mac Hyper theme to Gulpy, which would have been weird in retrospect. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't do that. But yeah, that was kind of the plan. There it is. That was Cactus Express. I'm sorry, I talked a little bit. You have no clue what Star Citizen is. It's essentially this game that's been in early access for like almost 10 years now, I would say, if not more. And it's still in early access, and it's not like having its full release anytime soon, but yeah. And then you have those loose articles here. every single time. Yeah, Gulpy is plenty happy with his brewery for sure, Makuta Master. But yeah, the loose articles, shelves. I feel like if you want to have a realistic park, you have to think about what your loose articles policy is. And so, yeah, there it is. For this ride, at the very least. And there you have the Cactus Express ride description board. Really fun thing, honestly. I really like those ride description board. Oh yeah, the custom trains as well. Once the other train is back into the station, we'll look at those. Thank you for making me think about that, Mineral, because I would have forgotten. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna continue doing those because there are a lot of pieces, and it's kind of boring to do them every time. Although it's a nice thing because I remember the only guy that toured the park for now. Yeah, look at those trains. What if you read this and you're already subscribed to YanBK1608? Then you can become a channel supporter, Catalyst. If you're already a channel supporter, okay, never mind. But yeah, that's the idea. And yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Actually, should I continue doing those, or should I? Is there another step after that? I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys like those? Because when the French guy, his name is First Drop on YouTube, when he toured the coasters and everything, it was really nice because you could see the coaster type and everything. And for example, in this game, this is supposed to be an Intamin multi-dimension coaster a la 13 in Alton Towers, but this is used as a Gerstlauer family coaster. And so this is something that he noticed, and that was nice for him to notice, because then obviously you're able to know what to expect. Just gonna put my phone in Do Not Disturb. There we go. And yes, at the back of the trains you have the Hasta la Vista, and this is basically the two sides that you see on the emblem on the Dreamweaver. Goodbye! Very Pegasus Express, yeah. Really love that. And this is probably the one point of the park where you can see every single land. Actually, yes. I wasn't sure for a second, but yes. So you have Jawsome right here, the surf coaster with the volcano here. And I'm stalling because I want to see the fire. There it is. There we go. Yeah, I'm shocked that the fire renders from this far, but it does. Then you have the little radar dish for the Sub-Explorer facade. Here you have oh, actually, you also have Mjolnir on this side. And here you have the Cosmic Cow Spaceport. This is the only place in the park where you can see every single... Oh, hello. Oh, I'm really zoomed in. I was in someone's head. That was not a pleasant experience. Don't know if we can see... Maybe we can see it launch anytime now. There it is. And if you pay attention, you can see it above the museum right now. Yeah, there it is. Love this. Love this so much. But yeah, that was kind of it for the Pueblo, essentially. It's one of the smallest areas of the park. In my opinion, the coaster makes up for that, because it's a really long coaster for a really compact space. But yeah, really nice. Love those interactions here. The music in the station is in the game, correct? I'm also going to have a Mexican area at some point in my build. Yes, it is. It is. In fact, if you want to learn the music that you can choose for your park in general, for your speakers or your rides that are already in the game, I really, really do recommend that you listen to the Planet Coaster 2 OST on, I don't know, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever is your go-to streaming service. And it's called Yumi and Fluidity. The music of Planet Coaster 2. That's how it's called. Yeah. I'm just gonna put a link to it on Apple Music because that's what I use. There it is. And it's also a really nice vibe to chill out while you're building. But yeah, speaking of music, we're about to silence that loud Mexican music and go to Bodies Bay, where I changed the music compared to the original versions of Bodies Bay. This is basically because I thought that this was more a holiday, slow, relaxing area rather than an action-based area. And so I wanted to have a more relaxing music, and that's when I realized that I could... Are you okay? Oh, you're waiting for the members of your group, okay. .NET! No. I do not agree. In my opinion, Planet Coaster 2's soundtrack is way better than 1. Just because in the album you have the full track list with, again, the music that you can hear in the park right now. This is not something you had in the original. And I definitely like the J.J. Ibsen tracks better in Planet Coaster 2 than 1. The 1 are a bit too loud, in my opinion, not relaxing enough. But yeah, that's my opinion. Anyway, custom toilets! Don't worry, it's not a toilet break again. But yeah, those are the first custom toilets that I've done in Planet Coaster 2! Oh my goodness! That legit scared me so bad. Damn that shark. Oh, goodness me. Legit give me a heart attack, this guy. That was so scary. I'm not scared of sharks. But yeah, this one definitely scared me. Yeah, with those. Yeah, that's the... So sorry. So sorry. Oh, I have to... The name's Bruce. No, the name's Buddy. Sorry, that threw me off. I have to get a bit of a sip of water to clear my mind, really. There we are. So I feel like the... What's he saying again? What is .NET saying? The new ones don't really stick as much as I want them to. Nah. Honestly, I feel like the Planet Coaster 2 soundtrack would make me more emotional. I don't know. Anyway, let's start with Kanakalawaya. So this means fisherman? In Hawaiian, I'm not sure. I'm definitely not sure at all, because that was like 7 months plus ago. But yeah, Kanakalawaya is essentially our restaurant for Hawaiian food. This is everything you can get here. So you have pokeballs and fresh juice. Really into the I don't know. Which one would you guys choose? I feel like I would probably go for either the chicken bowl or the veggie bowl. Yeah, we say veggie in French. Or at least in my part of the world of France, sorry. So that was a real funny thing actually when I said veggie one time when I went on the trip with Corvus and Antonio, and he was like, "No, it's veggie." Okay, veggie, it's veggie. Chicken bowl, custom pork bowl. It's really nice, really nice, and it's again this idea that you can have a lot of seafood bowl. Okay. But yeah, it's all about customization, right? It's make believe because it really is a higher sushi shop. And well, technically this is a juice box shop, so that works. Look at this view. For a while, this was my favorite view in the whole park. I really like. In fact, something that I really like between Pueblo de Saguaro, Guitarro, and this one is how striking how strikingly opposite they are to one another. Essentially, like one is very tight, and this one is more open. I really like that in this area. So good. Oh, and actually, I don't think I showed that to you guys in the episode. I don't know. Again, it was a while ago. But there's this little... I missed it. Damn it. But there's this little backstage area here. Only backstage area that I've actually done in the park. It's so sad. Technically, this one is another one as well. And this one was included in the blueprint as well. Really nice. And while we're here, might as well check out Surfer's Rest. So, ice cream essentially. Nobody ever comes here. So sad because it's such a nice little place for people to hang out. And then you have Jawsome Gifts. This would be a... And this is kind of what I want to do in the future once the photo shop, I guess, Photoshop, the photo gift shop is implemented in the game this month. I feel like I'll do like small shops like this, and it's gonna be nice in the next park. Yeah, and I sent you an email considering a certain clip and certain cyberpunk music. Let me see if I... Yeah, I got that. I got that. I suppose you used my business email. This is nice. What else? Yes! The Rocket Surfer. Really nice sign here. I'm not gonna miss it this time. There it is. Yay. Love the path interaction with this one. I stalked you and found one. I hope it's the right one. Yeah, it is. I got it. It's in my notification center, don't worry. I wish people would go to these little quiet areas in the park and have an ice cream and etc. Maybe see some animations of kids playing tag, etc. Yeah, it would be the heap of immersion for sure. Otherwise, someone named Jan might be really confused. For sure. For sure. But yeah, Slush Hour. I really like the what's it called? The branding for Slush Hour. Like this red and blue branding. Obviously, this is a brand that exists in the game, right? But I don't know. I really like what they've done with the new brands. Even Gelato Bros that we have on the other end of this this track here. Then you have other directional signs here. And again, some new gift shops here. Craptastic, everything's a treasure. Yes, even you. No, it's kind of like the annoying girlfriend, essentially. Like, everything's a treasure, and then she looks at you like, I'm a treasure? Yes, even you. That's how I imagined that. Essentially, that little catchphrase. And yes, that was a Free Guy reference. Surfboards, balls. Always gotta love the balls that you can buy. Turtles, because of the hatchlings next door. Towels again. Lamps. That sign is way too happy. This one? The Craptastic? Yeah. Yeah, Craptastic is so cute. What about loving balls? You know, it's Pride Month, so it's all good. It's all good. We all love balls here. We love balls, and some magnets as well. I don't know actually. Magnets. I don't really know what those would be. Honestly, stickers. No idea. Oh yes! I totally forgot about that, but the Surfing on Creativity statue, the premium item that you can buy. I love this. Love this so much. This was like my first experience of scaling, and I was like, well, one of my first at the very least. I was like, yeah, I can do some really cool stuff with that. And then of course Paul sent me those tiny yens, and I had to include them in the shops that I'd already done. Oh, we're gonna see the volcano. Yeah. That's badass. Love that. And of course, since it's a flat ride, it has the longest queue. So the queue lines I don't know if no, I don't think I've mentioned that before. But the queue lines I've adjusted so that they accurately reflect the actual queue times in the game, and or at least the amount of people that are in the queue. So for example, now it's packed and it's 25 minutes long. Really like hatchlings. In fact, I wish I had more flat rides in Camtaso Park. This is probably the biggest critique that you can give Camtaso Park, is that there are not enough rides, and that is a fact. I had like 2 more flat rides that were cut. One was a teacup that was themed to drinking mead in the Norse mythology area, and another one was chair swings in Camtaso City, which would have had this base, the base of the ride, essentially the ride plot, would be animated kind of like the Dreamweaver, essentially, and that did not make it in, unfortunately. Yeah, the 2 flat rides that we have in Camtaso Park are really cool. What's with teacups, right, in alcohol? It's more since near Midgard is a Norse mythology area, I thought it's gonna be a long thing to explain, but that's fine. It's a stream, yeah, let's have fun. So essentially, there is a myth in Norse mythology where Thor is tricked into drinking a special magic mead horn, essentially, and it never runs dry, essentially, that mead horn, and that's because the person who tricks the Thor, who is not Loki actually, it's Utgarda Loki, another. It's not actually Loki, it's just a giant, I think. basically linked the drinking horn to the sea, and so that's how he tricked them. And I wanted to make the teacup ride based around that myth, which is a really complicated thing, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm probably gonna reuse the idea in at some point. Probably not with the same exact same concept, but definitely in spirit. And then we have probably one of my favorite builds, which is one of the simplest as well in the park, but Happy Tiki, the little tiki bar. Love this so much. With those chairs, I forgot about the chairs. It's been so long. Oh yes, the chairs that say XOXO. Oh, I love those. Love those so much. And yeah, you have some classic soft drinks here. Then you have two of my favorite cocktails, the Moscow Mule and the Pina Colada. And then you have some more generic cocktails that are Tequila Sunrise, Mojito, the Margarita, and the Daiquiri. And of course, yes, the Body's Jawsome, which is a special one. I don't remember the recipe though, and I'm not going to pull that out. But yeah, it's a fun one. Look at that. It's also so sad how the park is empty and how every single train is sent out empty. But it is what it is, you know. Yes! Moscow Mule, Nadal. For sure. And then we have a hot dog place that is called Shark Bites. And one thing I actually realized with this area is that there are a lot of shops in this area. Interestingly enough. Can you get a Johnny Silverhand in this bar? Unfortunately not, no. It's not the Afterlife. Why is the running sounds of the B&M surf so good in this game? I don't know. They really cooked though in this game with the audio in general. Hell yes. Love that airtime moment. What the hell? Okay, Night Owl. Why is my cyberpunk name Yan Neon Fist? I don't feel comfortable with having fist in my name. Nah, I'm Yan Burger King. Yeah. Planning to recreate the afterlife in your park. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Fun fact, way before I knew you, Breeze, I wanted to do a cyberpunk, kind of a cyberpunk experience, essentially. And one of the rides would have taken you inside the afterlife and into the I haven't played it in so long, I forget. Into the net, essentially? Yes, the net. The net. Speaking of nets. Inside the net, essentially, to see rogue AIs and everything. And I wanted to use the robotic arm ride in the original Planet Coaster. Would have been great. Fortunately, I never ended up doing it. Another really cool station. I really like this station, really underrated, with the surf racks here. Really nice, the tiki. This is such a weird glitch, but it is what it is. You know, sometimes on console, the texture of those statues and other items might glitch a little. It's not doing it right now, but basically all the colors like go away. It's a little sad. Oh, you finished Phantom Liberty. That's so cool. So cool. Hey, Black Mick. Welcome to the stream. Anyway, oh no, gotta go in. There he goes. And we're gonna go There it is. Let's go on Jawsome. The second coaster I've ever done in this game. Really like that inversion over the path. Probably the standout moment of the attraction to me. Although I really like the airtime hill. Or bump. More, I don't know. It's more of a hill, really. Just before the inversion. And there we are, and yes, again, the ride description board. It's so weird to see an operator behind there. I haven't really toured the park since the park was finished, so it's really weird to see them there. Then you have, of course, the loose articles here, and this little view here. And this is also another place where you can see a lot of the park. You can see a little bit of Cosmic Cow here. You can see the watchtower in the Viking area. You can see the tower of the station of Cactus Express. And all the way over there you can see the satellite dish for the facade of Sub-Explorers. Explorer, singular, not plural. But yeah, you can see I was really discovering the game back then because I thought that those plazas would work well, and nobody's there whatsoever. So sad. But that's pretty cool. Then again, I feel like this would look better if the park had more guests in. But unfortunately, with the ride counter, I don't know. Yeah, the ride counter... Well, basically, the amount of rides that you have in your park count towards your prestige meter. And... yeah. Don't scare me again. Okay, one last time for the road. See, I think this... If I look at... Yeah, there's literally no one on this train. So sad. Yeah, it's always trickier on console. Especially when you're trying to do like really well themed parks like this. And to be fair, it's not like Universal or Disney theming here in my opinion. Like Camtaso Park is more humble with the theming. Even though it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's like basic and everything. Is this a max guest cap? No, not at all. So that's the thing, .NET. The max guest cap is 6,000 on console, at least. I think it's 12,000 on PC. But if you don't have enough rides in your park, so for example, here we have 7. Actually, hold on. Let me show you. So if we go into the park management and into the park rating, you can see it's fine, right? So park reputation is 5-star, scenery rating is 5-star, but then when it comes to the unique attractions and the attraction prestige, this is where the BS starts. Because first of all, obviously, 6 attractions, it's supposed to be 7, so I bet the lock flume has broken down. It happens, it's fine. We'll fix it. Actually, I think I can do it from here. Hold on. Yes, River Muse has broken down. There it is. Back open now. So yes, back to the park rating. So not only does the unique attractions mean that you're gonna have a really low prestige because of that, essentially because of the really low amount of of attractions that you have in your park. But then you have the attraction prestige on top of that, so it doubles down on that bad thing essentially. I could do tiny pools, I guess, but I don't need that, honestly. It's fine. Like as long as the park works fine, it's fine by me. And I feel like it's more relaxing to have like lower crowds. It's just sad to see like trains not be full essentially. But yeah, to me, my biggest not concern, but my biggest issue with Planet Coaster, and it has been like that from day one, is the balancing with those two prestige things. Anyway, oh no. What it was bound to happen. There we go. Back on the ground, and let's go to Station Reef. It's not right break. No, when I say breakdown .net, it's not like you need a mechanic to repair it. It's more about since the ride has so many moving parts, sometimes essentially a vehicle crashes on the turntables of River Muse. That's what happens. It fortunately doesn't happen anymore because it used to happen. It doesn't happen with the multiverses anymore, but it still happens with the lock flume. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But yeah, Station Reef, Station Reef. Probably my favorite area in this park, honestly. Probably the one I spent the longest to do. I'm not quite sure. It's either that or near Midgard, but I feel like it's this one because it was so complex, and I really wanted to make it like as good as I could, and I feel like I achieved that, even though I cut some ideas. And the first idea that I had for this area, I was about to say it's hydroelectric and the stop spin, but it actually isn't. The first real idea was to do the multi-dimension coaster that takes you underwater and have that exit with the sea cave and everything. That was the base idea that I built this area around, or imagined this area around, and then I was like, yeah, let's have a hydroelectric central, a hydroelectric barrage. Dam, sorry, not barrage. It's French. It's in French that you say barrage. But anyway, yeah. So hydroelectric was definitely a good call because it really, I don't know, puts that bit of kinetic energy that isn't there otherwise, right? Like there isn't a lot of kinetic energy in this area, all things considered. Like there's a little bit with the sign over here, which is weirdly slow actually. No, it's fine. Then you have the satellite dish, and maybe the smoke. You can argue it is, but this is like the biggest kinetic energy generator, ironically, that's in the area for sure. Unfortunately, this is a ride that puts, and I don't know, yeah, that puts guests into panic states, and they never go out of the panic state, so I don't know what happens with that. I think it's a bug, honestly. It definitely is a bug, but it's a little annoying. It is what it is, though. But yeah, you have this little, not little actually, this the inside of the central, the power station, and you can pilot those water jets from those consoles. Oh, I missed. There it is. Oh, you can faintly see them now. Yeah, I know I can pick them up, I just don't want to do it. It's just what it is, you know. Bro, Da Vinci style missed these interactive things. Like, what? Yeah, honestly, I'm a little bit mad at this guy just because I've like specifically told him to wait until the park was complete to do the videos, and I feel like he split them in two to have like two videos and have more views on the two videos, like a series of videos, essentially. I feel like it's a bit sad, but it is what it is, you know. And then you have the, ooh, I forgot to point out, the bioelectricity research right here. Actually, more details that I haven't shown. But this, for example, for the staff, do I have other Easter eggs here and there? You have R33F on either ends of the building. No, that's about it. That's about it. Except this is actually connected to another door. Haha! So it's the only emergency exit that exists, essentially. And then you go to the bioelectricity research. You see the giant jellyfish, which is the exact same that you will see in the ride later on. So that's a... everything is connected in this area. It's really well thought out. Yes, I'm totally tooting my own horn right now. And then, of course, you have this beautiful, beautiful view of the Hustop Spin. Custom Hustop Spin, might I add. It's really, really nice. Really like those. Not for these guys, but I really like that. And especially the bridge. Like, I knew I had to do a bridge, but I didn't really know how it would turn out. But this works really well. I really, really like this bridge. Hearing all the water, I need to I need to drink again. I'm so sorry. It's very hot as well, so it's about 20 degrees, so yeah, I need to drink. Just a moment. There we go. And another thing that I really like, again, it's all about planning and designing the area, but I really, really like how both rides share the exact same exit path, like they exit at the exact same place, and it's really cool. And also because the Hustop Spin is right here, I really specifically wanted the custom toilets to be at the end of this path, and so this is where they are. And here we have the adoption center with the elevator that goes down to the exit path that we were just at, and I forgot to turn those. You know what? I'm gonna do some notes on what I need to change so that I can update the park later on. So I'm gonna call that Camtaso changes Chief Beef Wall and Adoption Center glass top of door. There we go. And I bet that since it's the case for this one isn't... Oh, no, I thought about this one. Interesting, interesting. So it's on only this one, okay. But at least I'll know I'll have to you know, change that in the future. So look forward to an update to Camtaso Park, I guess. Yes, the adoption center is absolutely amazing. First of all, because of the aquarium that's here. Like, this is amazing, by the way. Sandy Reef, the star of the area. Love this character so much. One of them, like, with the character models that are in the game, this one is probably my favorite. Especially because of the, I call it the octopal, but the octopus that's right here. I love this so much. He tries to take a picture and fails. So cool. And here you have the octopals that are a callback to those little that little creature, which are actually they weren't originally on the ride vehicle design, but I added them afterwards, and that was just the detail that the ride vehicles needed. So now every single vehicle is accompanied by an octopal, and I love that idea. Then you have some rotating art. The bubble blasters. Love the bubble blasters. They're only made using custom supports. They're so cool. And this one is like one that a kid has left on. And if you really pay attention, you can see that the trigger is still like pulled. It's so funny. And then of course the tiny Yans. With another aquarium with coral behind the counter. Probably my favorite gift shop in the park, if I'm honest. Like, to me, this is the most gift shop looking gift shop of the park, if that makes any sense. Then of course you have this little cove area that is absolutely amazing. Welcome back, Hendrik, by the way. Sorry. Lovely little animation on the octopus. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then the Divers Club. Yeah, the Divers Club is a... So, if you look at what's through there, this is essentially the staff path to the station, which is like right here. So, sorry to break your immersion, but yeah, the station is like right here, essentially. And, what is that guy doing? Are you okay, bro? He's okay, he's fine. He's bald as well. Probably why. But yeah, that was supposed to be not only the staff access to this ride, but it was also supposed to be the sort of lobby to welcome people, disabled people, to the ride. Sort of alternative entrance, essentially. But it didn't end up happening, and so the build stayed. But unfortunately, the plans for the interior were completely scrapped. And then we have Sub Explorer. We'll get to... Yeah, we'll get to it right now, actually. Just want to point out how you have the Rainbow Cave Research Institute right here. And this is obviously where you go inside the show building. And speaking of show building, look at that facade. Love this thing. So much. And even more so the fact that you can see it from inside the building here. And then the clutter, the depth of that inside is just so cool. And of course the literal submarine that's right here. Really like this. I think I've spent like a whole afternoon looking at other submarines that the people at Frontier had made, and also looking at real submarines to make sure that I think one of the ones that I looked at was the original submarine from GTA 5. I took a little bit of inspiration from that as well. Obviously it's also yellow. I don't think you can change the color of the submarine on GTA 5. But yeah, the joke behind that is obviously the Yellow Submarine, the Beatles song. So yeah. Well, Brady asks, do you think that once you get a PC you will come back to Camtaso Park to finish these staff areas and extra areas that you couldn't finish due to console limit? No, actually. This is something that I long debated with... Sorry, that guy threw me off a little bit. I debated with myself for a long time whether I should do this or not, and I feel like Camtaso Park should stay a console park and should stay in the state that it is. because it's a benchmark. You know what I mean? It's kind of the benchmark to say, okay, on console we're able to do only that. And in my opinion, the park, in my mind at least, the park is complete, right? And it literally is. If you stay inside the park, you will have the complete experience, no immersion ruined or whatever. It's perfect. But then what I want to do with the second series on Planet Coaster 2 that I do is start the park on console, do a first season on console essentially, and once I get a PC, go back to that specific park and do the expansions of the park that they would do realistically, essentially. You'll see that in the future, though. Don't worry. If they upgrade the console limit, would you come back to do staff area? Nope, I would not. Again, I'm not interested in coming back to Camtaso Park. To me, Camtaso Park is complete. It's done. Let's just move on. You know what I mean? Let's just move on from Camtaso Park as soon as we can. Especially because Camtaso Park has taken such a long time that it's been emotionally extremely taxing. And so I just want to leave it in the past, not touch it again, and move on to greener pastures, essentially. So yeah, the choral research will finally arrive here right now. And yeah, the guests are dancing in here. Look at that. It's probably because of the way I do my cattle pen. Froze off the AI a little bit. It is what it is, though. And as long as it works as a functional queue, I don't mind. Hey Julian. Thank you so much. I mean, this is probably the best Planet Coaster 1 and 2 project I've ever seen. I don't know. I don't know if I deserve such praise. I know it's good, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's that good yet. You know, I don't make projects that are that iconic yet. So I'm glad that you guys think so, but there are definitely better fishes in the sea to take the deep sea ID here. And yeah, speaking of deep sea and everything, expansion or not, it looks and feels incredible. And finished, I don't know how, but I can't even build something like this on PC, so it will forever be incredible. Thank you though. Thank you. Like, I really like when you guys say this stuff, don't get me wrong. It's just, to me, I've spent so much time behind the curtain that it doesn't feel as special. But I'm glad it does feel special to you guys. That's kind of the idea, right? Once you get on PC and are unrestricted, maybe you'll feel differently. I don't think so. Like, I really do know that Camtaso Park is over. I really don't want to touch it, because making new areas, making new the staff areas as well, would mean touching or reworking things that are already here. I really want to just leave Camtaso Park in the state that it's in, and instead do a park that is planned to be oh right, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, Catalyst. Yeah, because Catalyst said, no, I meant feel differently on how good your builds are. Probably, honestly. Probably, because I won't, like, you know, I had strings, but now I'm free and everything. I'm gonna be copyright struck by Disney. But yeah. Thank you, Dejui. I didn't see the kind message you put in as well. Oh, cool, you do live streams. Love your stuff. Thank you so much, Power Sork. What is the best creation of the community on Planet Coaster 2 for you? Oh, that's really hard for me to say, honestly. Especially because I can't visit them all since I'm on console, so I really don't... There's not a best, you know, to me. To me, in a creative space, there are different visions and different interpretations to how things can be done. But in my opinion, there's not a best creation. You know what I mean? There are great creations all throughout the workshop. Anyway, let's go back to the tour now. We have different corals here, which are all really interesting when you look at the numbers that are damn it, I'm sorry. I really want to go do a bathroom break real quick. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna leave you in the beautiful queue line for for 2 minutes, and then I'll be back, okay? So see you in like 2 minutes. And I am back. So let's see the chat real quick. What music track is playing in this area? This is Current Events by Dan Milic. Any more tinier parks, more detailed and more immersive. Yeah, I guess. I'm not really sure I agree with that, but it's just sometimes, especially with content creators, like beware of content creators. What they show you and I know this because I am one, but what is shown in the videos is not always what the park looks like. Like, content creators know specifically how to show things. You know what I mean? And this is why I really, really like smaller creators, content creators again. Essentially, because they're more genuine with their approach, and it's very easy to lose yourself in this, I don't know, show. Essentially, like, it's kind of like a show more than it is a genuine park that you build, like a genuine extension of yourself, a genuine almost artistic project, right? It's more content than it is art, and this is something that I really want to stop doing with the next series. Oh, the chat is acting up again. I'm so sorry. Hold on. How do I disable the chat on my end? There it is. But yeah, this is something that I'm trying to stop with the next series. Change the format a bit, because I really want to get rid of that cinematic, you'll see only what I want you to see type of approach. I really want to go back to something a little more well, first of all, live commentary, but second of all, more genuine, you know what I mean? Like, more in the moment. And it's not to say that there won't be any cinematics, it's just that cinematics will accompany the live, raw, genuine sentences, essentially. And so again, that's why I really like people such as the Dewey, Haukeland, or Mineral. They're really like into this raw, genuine projects, and they're essentially playing the game, which is something that content creators often, myself included, we often forget to do, right? Anyway, tangents closed. Would you recommend content creation on Planet Coaster 2? Not at the moment, no. It's not a good time to start content creation on Planet Coaster 2. Wait a few months, in my opinion. Anyway, yes, back to those corals. So, every specimen number is a reference to something. So 611 is a reference to the date, the release date of Planet Coaster 2, so November 6th. 616 is obviously the MCU, status critical. Then we have 1608, status Elfie, that's me. And then you have 1966. This is the year of death of Walt Disney, and so you can see status deceased, and you have like little hints for what happens during the story, with relocation to the Rainbow Cave for recovery worked. Then you have hydroelectric dam did not affect the cove negatively. Relocate to the Rainbow Cave for its healthy recovery, and then the one that's deceased looks like it has been chewed on by a large creature. And then you have this main sort of deep sea expedition report by Sandy Reef. All specimens gathered at the deep sea reef confirmed the hypothesis that a creature feeds on its coral. This is leading to the reef's decay. We must identify the creature and relocate the coral to the Rainbow Cave urgently. Captain Sandy Reef. And then, because the Rainbow Cave is mentioned here, you can see the Rainbow Cave right after. So that's like the storytelling idea here. Look at this. Changing lights and everything. Really, really cool. And another little trick here. This is not actual water. First of all, if I had like terrain water, it would look just as bright as it does in the daylight. So that's a problem that I had to face. And then if I had water shapes, which was my original idea, I would have had the problem that it's tinted and the corals and the fishes were not going to be the correct shade, essentially. So I went for glass, essentially glass pieces, and you can see the edges of the glass pieces here. So that's a little bit of a trick that I did, but I think from afar it looks great, especially with the waterfall was definitely added to give the illusion that this is actual water when in fact it definitely isn't water. And then you're led to the deep sea outpost where you see the mission control leading you to the briefing room with a little view on the dispatch sequence. Then here you have the diving suits, and obviously the number 1 is not here, and that's because if you look at Sandy Reef closely, he has the number 1. He has the number 1 dive suit because he's the captain, right? He's already out there saving the deep sea reef, and in fact the instructions are, it's a little bit of a trick, you know. You have this not custom media, actually, just media that's in the game for Sandy Reef, and then I put some text over it that looks like custom media, but that really isn't. And so it's a really, I like to think, a clever trick with what we can do on console to make it seem like it's well done, where in fact it's really just a simple trick. So yeah, instructions. Travel to the deep sea reef, identify the creatures, save as much coral as possible, and 4, extraction towards the deep sea cave of Station Reef. Proceed to boarding bay, and then you see the boarding bay here. It's really, really cool. Let's actually step on the platform here. So here is what I said earlier with the Divers Club. It's supposed to be this disabled access, like I said, and of course you have the little ride description board. I'm not sure about the length because of the backward section, but it's so cool to see the ride turn around like this. It is so cool. And then you have the aqua drone, which is the thing that's completely destroyed by a fish beastie halfway through the ride. You know, the one that's parking and everything. You'll see that in a minute anyway. And of course, as I was saying, every single ride vehicle has that octopal, and they also have a license plate. For example, this one is the Codfather, and the next one is going to be the Gifted Sub. There we go. Well, actually, it's really funny that we're on stream and seeing that. So my favorite place to sit is the third seat of the first row. And let's go on an expedition anytime soon now. Let's catch up with the chat real quick. Oh, an actual live video. Hi, Yan. Hi, SP Reedley. How's it going? Yeah, it's our park tour for Camtaso Park. And I love this effect right here. Just linking everything up to the audio and the lighting and everything, it just works so well. I said in the video that this ride and this area was the thing that I was most proud of in Planet Coaster in general, and it definitely still is the case. I love this thing so much, and it's simple, right? Like the theming is not over the top or anything, but it's just the dark environments really make you focus on what is lit up, and that's what really works well. Another shout out to my moderator Birdie, with Birdie's Revenge, the wreck that he has completed actually. And then you can see the aqua drone that's sparking here. Then you're about to get eaten by the fish beastie, and my favorite moment of the ride right here, the horseshoe with the animatronic, one of the best effects I've done yet. Although the diving of the submarine, in my opinion, is really cool. And then obviously you're being chased by the fish beastie. The fish beastie catches up to you, so it drags you down one more time, and then you're able to kind of make it, but the submarine is not in a good shape, and you can hear that when it starts going again, and then you're in the unloading platform, and it's really cool. Like this ride is so cool, and the amount of things that we can do with dark rides in general now is incredible, like simply incredible. Like if I could do more, I would have, but unfortunately, you know, console and everything, I have to be reasonable. But the day I'm able not to be reasonable, I'm gonna do some bangers, guys. I'm really going to do some bangers. This is literally, and I'm gonna quote Scarlet Witch from Multiverse of Madness here. Yeah, here you have Dive Hard, for example. This is me being reasonable. Anyway, let me catch up with the chat. Thank you so much, Aspiridly. This is much better than the what Port Aventura did with this type of ride. Yeah, this honestly was the first of its kind ride in Port Aventura, but I feel like they really cheaped out with the theming there. I haven't been on it myself, but I've seen videos of it, and it's pretty much always darkness and screams most of the time, which is sad, especially with that cool ride system, right? And this one is NSYNC, so that way we'll have seen every single. Well, hold on, Codfalver. Oh no, we missed Sabaku. I think this is the next one. Hold on, I'm gonna have a little sip of water while we wait for Sabaku. And there it is, Sabaku, which is obviously referring to Sudoku. But yeah, those are our 5 names for the submarines, and then of course you come out of the sea cave. Oh, it's bright. Did you make the octopus with a flower? I'm stealing that. Yeah, this is what I did, but I would really encourage you wait for the next update, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, by the way, but I believe there's going to be a plushie of, where is he? I think he's downstairs. No, he's not. He's in the toilet, isn't he? Yeah, of that little guy on the back of Sandy Reef. So there's going to be a plushie, which is going to be just the one piece. So you're going to be able to, instead of what I've done. But to be fair, this was a creative solution to that problem. So I'm kind of proud. Port Aventura and sheep go together always, yeah, for sure. For sure. And then the final stop for the area is Uma Labs, which is a reference to, I think I have one of those crates here. Yeah, right here. To those crates I was about to say who, but which always have Uma Labs written on them, and I don't know, just seeing 2 words written on a crate inspired me to do a literal restaurant. So there it is, and it's a really cool one as well. I really like how open this all feels. And also the booths. Let's talk about the booths, because the booths were made before we had booths in the game. So I don't know. Am I Nostradamus? Nostradayan? I don't know. That was cringe. Let's just move on. You know what I mean. I'm a prophet, and I predict that hotels are gonna be in the game next. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see. If I'm right, though. Oh, we can hear crescendo singing through the walls here. But yeah, Sandy Reef Burger for Night Owl. I don't know if Night Owl is still here. Yeah, you're still here. So there you go. You can have the Sandy Reef, not the Sandy Reef Burger, the Fish BC Burger. My bad. This is gonna come back to bite you in the behind. Yeah, always does. But yeah, really, really cool. And of course, the tray disposal. I wish we had that in the game, though, with the restaurants. I haven't played with restaurants yet, but I feel like they should have placed some sort of special bins with where you could have, I don't know, put a tray disposal and everything. And of course, we still have those weird glitches with the texture of those parasols here. It's a bit sad, but it is what it is. Can't do much about it anyway. This is probably the last time I thought I was gonna be able to do a staff area. Again, no backstage. Sorry. But you can see how close we are to... first of all, this is the show building, quote-unquote, for Mjolnir, the first helix of Mjolnir. And then, of course, you have the Cosmic Cow shop right here. Ooh, sorry. There's this little water feature right here. Fun fact, they called you Lil Beastie Fish in college. That's cool. And of course, yes, something that was really important for me when designing this area with multiple levels was accessibility, because I really felt bad with when I realized that the Pueblo de Saguaro Guitarro, especially Cactus Express, was not accessible at all. And then again, there's this the little shout out to Birdie, one of my moderators, with Birdie's Revenge, and there you have a part of the whole artifacts from it and the anchor here. And the idea is to ease your way into the Greek section with undersea archaeology. So for example, you have oxidized ancient artifacts, ancient sculptures, ancient temple ruins, ancient pottery, ancient column remains, and then you have this big archway that completes the collection at the end, which leads you to the Nymph Woods. There it is. You have a little fresco here as well, depicting the storyline of this this area, which is basically, you know, you have Dionysus that's throwing a party in the Nymph Woods near the River Meuse. That's what it's supposed to represent, at least. And yeah, it's right here. Oh, I was about to say it broke down again, but no, it did not. Okay, cool. Anyway, yes, so the Nymph Woods, footprint-wise, is probably the smallest area of the park. Actually, I'm not sure. It's either that one or the Pueblo. But in my opinion, it's one of the most beautiful areas of the park. just because of how green and lush it looks, especially when you go from something really industrial like Station Reef right here, you know. It's very colorful, don't get me wrong, but it's not like that, well, like that green. Obviously, there are palm trees and some foliage here and there. But this is on a whole other level. And you kind of go back to more European, Greek, ancient sort of landscape, which is really, really cool. And another thing that's really cool is how the pathway is split up with the little elevation changes. And one leads you to Dionysus Delights, which is a pizzeria and a winery. Yes, of course, a winery. Sorry, with the margarita, pepperoni, capricciosa. Actually, I'm not sure about that pronunciation. Sorry, Italian people. The vegetarian and the Four Seasons, and then you have a really, really cool Easter egg for the winery. So you have the Cuvée Camtaso. So that's obviously something that's specific to Camtaso Park. And then you have Manoir Belleflore. And this is a reference to the next park, which is gonna be called, as you can... Oh. Ah, no, hold on. I have to take the HUD off. Yeah. There it is. Belleflore. Suggesting that they make wine there, and I have not planned a vineyard yet. I don't think I will. It's just a nice little Easter egg, honestly. With small, magical, godly vineyards here. In my opinion, this is kind of the place where Dionysus lives in these woods, right? And of course, you have this beautiful, beautiful place, which has this ceiling that is completely sculpted, that uses the idea of the fresco from earlier. But obviously, this is like way bigger. Really, really like the architecture, and I really like how buildings that are sculpted from a cliffside are really ancient and I don't know how could I describe this. They really feel like they've been there for centuries. Can you shut up? Yeah, so I was talking about the owl earlier on the emblem on the Dreamweaver. That's the one right here. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yeah, so pizzas and wine. So yeah, on one side you have items that are related to pizza with flour and tomatoes and all that kind of good stuff, with whatever you call that, the spicy oil thing that they have at pizzerias. Spicy sauce, I guess. Yeah, in that jar right here. And then you're really following us everywhere, aren't you? If you start singing again, I swear. And yeah, wine stuff here with wine bottles here. He's doing it again. Yeah, he's doing it. Yeah, let's leave. This is the first time I see a guest using that. Yay. I'm happy. And of course, the Dionysus is a god, right? So Dionysus loves to be represented everywhere, and so he's there, he's here, he's here, he's not here. Thank goodness. Yeah, haha, haha, ha ha ha. Goodness. I love the design of the character, but goodness me is he annoying. Alright, go away. Yeah. The Jewish says that was about 2,000 hours of frustration working on this park while Crescendo was shouting in his ear, leaving all at once. Don't worry, when I build, I always build on pause. So no, fortunately not. I don't associate with those types of owls. And MAO, this dude is like the Assassin's Creed 2 loot players. Hey Aerotech, nice to see you. Welcome to the stream, man. Oh, go get your pizza. Yeah. And once you're... Obviously there's this elephant in the room. We'll go back to that at the end of this area. But then you have Poseidon's Kiss. Obviously. If you don't know what Poseidon's Kiss is, first of all, why not? Because I said that you should search that in the episode of this area. But also, ew, am I right? Hey Marilyn, nice to see you. Have I played Assassin's Creed 2? No, this is one of the only ones I haven't played actually. I started playing with Revelations. Then I did every single one until Origins. I didn't do Origins. I did Odyssey and half of Valhalla, I want to say, and then I stopped there. Valhalla to me was the breaking point. I really disliked Valhalla, but I loved Odyssey. Odyssey was one of my favorites, and also Black Flag was my favorite. You don't know how many times that you've walked through this park since it's complete. Well, this is nice. This is something nice of you. So nice of you to say. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm beginning to be a little bit tired. It's about to be 11 p.m. so I still have one area to go. Almost done, guys. Almost done. Yes. Sorry, I'm staring at this sign because I want to say Aeolus is not only the god of wind, so this is great for a hand dryer, but it was also supposed to be the name of the coaster that I wanted to do in my diorama contest submission. And then you have those little midway games, ring toss, bowl toss, I don't know. It's always about bowls, isn't it? And then of course another really interactive feature here, the High Striker. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is the hammer for the High Striker, which has this little Bull of Minos look to it. In my headcanon, it's kind of the weapon that the Bull of Minos has, right? And of course, it works. And it doesn't work. There it is. Love that thing so much. Every time I come by this area, I always have to do this, right? It's just so cool. Like, interactive features are so underrated in parks. In Planet Coaster 2 parks. And in real parks as well, to be fair. But I feel like not many people know that interactive features are possible thanks to sequencers. Like this, for example. So cool. And it's all themed as well, which is a nice little bonus. But then, of course, the main event for this area is River Muse, with this little splash zone, and the ride is broken down again. Yay! That's because when you stay a few hours in the park, it's gonna go. Yeah, it's gonna. It's fine. Yay! Thank you for ruining the immersion, River Muse. There it is. But yeah, when you stay in the park for long enough, River Muse will break, unfortunately. It is what it is, you know, turntables and everything. But it's fine. Totally fine. Yeah, dryers, by the way. Dryers that totally don't work for water rides, but it is what it is. They work for water parks, but I don't know why they don't work for water rides. They should, like, water rides really should give the wet effect to guests. I feel like it should be intended as that. Oh, I'm gonna have to leave because this guy has started to sing. Yes, River Muse! And so this was the statue I was referring to earlier. That's all the way around the park. It's in the Pueblo de Saguaro Guitarro, obviously, but it's also on the sides, on top of the Dreamweaver. So that's really cool. Wait, sorry, why does the turntable ride break? Essentially, regardless of the intervals, there's always a moment of, because I've messed up. I've messed with the what's it called? The dispatch intervals. It's essentially, and I just wanted to optimize the ride at first to make sure that it went regardless of if there are people on it or not. And at one point, when I started to get towards somewhere satisfactory, the ride started breaking after a while, essentially, during my tests. And I was like, this is acceptable, because people aren't going to spend like 1 hour 30 or 2 hours in the park. And it was around when the ride started breaking, essentially. So essentially what happens is the turntable will work for one thing, for one of the boats, and then it's not already reset when another boat comes in, and so that very boat will crash in the turntable. So that's what happens, essentially. But I decided to leave it in, honestly. It's not that big a deal, because again, not enough people are gonna meet that problem, so I really don't mind. Really like the interactivity, like the interaction. Sorry, I'm really getting tired. Yeah, that's what was happening, if you heard the crashing sounds. It happens, it's rare. I think it also has to do with areas being loaded and unloaded or something. I think it messes up the timing. So it's really like completely independent to my will. But yeah, I maximized ride interactions with this, and I love this. Look at this station, by the way. I haven't spent enough time raving on about this station, because it's really cool. Like, it really has that Tutatis tumulus feeling, but more open, obviously. It's so cool. It's really got that Druid Temple feel to it, which I love, absolutely love. But let's get on the ride, right? It's gonna go anytime now. There it is. And yes, again, interaction. So you have the queue line on the right, and you can see the boat climb up the lift hill. Essentially, every single outdoor part is next to a path, now that I think about it. And obviously the springs for the River Muse, which takes you on this odyssey. This ride should have been longer, but I really wanted to be mindful of the percentage. I wanted to have a Chiapas party section with Druid Damnation playing, which would have been amazing. but instead you directly go down to Tartarus in the lair of the Gorgons. Those are actually not Medusa in the canon of the ride, those are just Gorgons. And then you go next to the prison of the Bull of Minos. And then you meet Kronos. And yes, the guests do react to jump scares. And then of course the thematic climb for someone who's got to climb forever. This is Sisyphus, essentially, which is just absolutely awesome. This ride was really an excuse to have some Greek mythology figures around the ride. And there we are, back in the station. This is honestly a short ride. I feel like, yeah, it's a Hopkins ride, custom flume, like Splash Mountain, obviously. But I feel like this area, the Nymph Woods, and of course Rivermuse, really suffered from being on console, because those are like this is the area damn, this guy's singing. I swear. Like, I feel like I really wanted to do more with this area, but I just held back, like, tremendously to make sure that near Midgard and Camtaso City would be able to have a decent amount of details. And it's not to say that this is not detailed, right? It's just not up to my standard, in a sense. Like, I really wanted it to be so much more. And in a sense, near Midgard is kind of like that as well, but we're about to get there. I really would love to be in that splash zone right now, because it is warm in my room. In fact, let me have a quick sip of water. There we are. You don't want Yan to dry out, right? We're almost there, though. One final area near Midgard. And obviously this is really inspired by Petra, how this has been carved into the cliffside, and we have the Valkyrie guarding this other end of the area, this other end of this other entrance to near Midgard. And we also have Greek weapons here, which are very reminiscent of the weapons we find inside this corridor here. And then you get here, essentially. I don't know if we're gonna be lucky enough to... Yes, we are! Look at this! Love this interaction here. The Jewy says, I'm gonna hear crescendo in my nightmares tonight. Yeah, me too, I think. Me too. Oh, your favorite area is near Midgard, Aerotech. That's good. That's good to know. Actually, while we're still here, there are 35 people still watching this. What is your favorite area in Camtaso Park? Like, everyone has a different answer, and I love this. But yeah, I really like this first impression from when you enter from the Nymph Woods to near Midgard. You have this little, not so little actually, Immelman that goes into the Air Force role, as I call it. And yeah, it's really cool because it introduces you to the fjord essentially. So I really like how this is really a cliffside village. Or mountainside village, I guess. On top of a fjord. It's just really cool. Oh my god, so many replies. Litomo says the Reef. Hendrix says the entry, so I suppose the Camtaso City. Dutness says either Station Reef or near Midgard. Chicken Viking obviously says near Midgard. The Jewy says Camtaso City for sure. I don't know why, but the entrance building is just tickling my fancy. It's amazing, probably because of Epic Universe. Brice is saying Station Reef. .NET says Vekoma bias, obviously. And Brice says also the entrance. Ben says Bodies Bay. I really do like Bodies Bay, despite how simple it is, right? Like, it's a simple area, but I feel like it does the job really well. And how open it is as well really feels good. The Toad says the Reef or the Nymph Woods. Powerzork says the aquatic theme is very good in Planko, in my opinion, and you utilize it well. Aerotech says, I love the forest perspective with the houses on the mountains. Yes, this is something I really like as well. Like, it's a really simple effect. Not only the little houses, but also, you know, the pines that you have that get progressively smaller as you go up and up and up and up. And it's really interesting. It was really cool to design that. Last time I did that was in Simple Park. And I feel like it worked so much better with the scaling of Planet Coaster 2. so many different answers here. Oh, .NET is actually saying Camtaso City is a clear winner. I adore it. The Jew is saying, and Station Reef as well. It's one of the best executions of the aquatic themes I've seen. Yeah, this is something I really like about Station Reef as well, because usually when you try to tackle the aquatic theme, you're like, oh yeah, I want to go underwater. But like, it doesn't work as well as if you're imagining it to be a facility that takes you underwater. Like, the special part of the aquatic theme is getting underwater, and so making a ride around that was, in my opinion, the best idea I've had for this park. It's not really taking the cliche of an aquatic theme. Viva el Pueblo, also Midgard. Entrance area, definitely my favorite part, then Pueblo. This whole park is just so lovely. Thank you, SP Ridley. Thank you so much. Yeah, that one I can pronounce is my second favorite. The Reef would be my go-to just for chilling. Yeah, it's a really chill area, actually. You're right. You're really right. Anyway, let's get on with the tour. And yes, just, again, like, being greeted by this mountain range and this amazing sightline for a coaster with this stall after the launch, the beyond vertical launch, which is actually the steepest vertical launch in the world technically, because Voltron is a little less steep. Then we have Freyr's Meal here with some little jokes with Mani's croissant. So that's Mani is basically the moon god, essentially. And so a croissant is shaped like a moon. The opposite of a croissant is a pain au chocolat. So Sol's pain au chocolat, which is the sun. Then you have Force Eclair. An eclair is a a French pastry, but is also the name of a lightning, so a force lightning essentially. And then you have Idun's chausson, so this is referring to the chausson aux pommes, which is an apple pastry essentially. And Idun's apples are what make the gods immortal in the Norse mythology essentially. See you, Toad. Thank you so much for sticking around. Are there any areas where you can see another land from the land you're in? Only a few. There are a few if you look for them, but like the biggest place where you can actually notice that is the exit of Cactus Express in the Pueblo. So yes, there are, but you really have to look for it. And oh, I hate this bug where the texture goes black. So sad, because otherwise this piece looks great, but it also ruins my Mjolnir actually. Like, look at it. Yeah, no, it's black. If I move ever so slightly. There it is, now it's not black. So weird how it does that. Can you show me it? Just go back a few hours in the stream. I've shown it to people already. And then you have tea. So you have the Asgard, which is the mint tea, Alfheim, which is green tea, Vanaheim, which is lavender tea, and Helheim, which is Earl Grey. Yeah, you're right, .NET. I feel like it's definitely unstable, but at least it doesn't crash on like on PC. I feel like the game crashes way more often on PC than on console. And then you have this little terrace here, right next to the stall and the Immelman here, and also the Viking. So this is Thor's daughter, Frud. And I love this character so much. Honestly, the characters in Planet Coaster 2 are really cool. Look at this. Love this stall. Love this stall so much. Look at this animation. Hell yeah. With the coaster in the back, that's so cool. Hell yeah. Could I tell a story about Midgard? Your voice is comforting while being sleepy. Is that you asking me to put you to sleep? Is that what you're doing? I can tell you quickly the story behind Mjolnir if you want. So essentially, as you saw, well, technically no, this is not what you saw, but this is Thor's daughter, right, in my headcanon. And she has a new hammer because she didn't want to get Mjolnir after Ragnarok, because Mjolnir has a dark past, right? Thor in the actual Norse mythology is not the nice Thor that we know from the MCU. Thor is actually quite I don't want to say bad words, but he's an a-hole, right? He's a real big a-hole. And so Frud didn't want that legacy with the hammer, and so she asked one of the surviving dwarves who forged Mjolnir originally, Sindri, and you can actually see Sindri and Brock, his brother, who originally forged Mjolnir, who are represented by this statue here. She asked him to do a new hammer, which is the new one that she has. I don't know where. Yeah, this one right here. and in exchange he would get Mjolnir. And now Sindri is using Mjolnir to basically make a new mode of transportation, which is a flying boat, and it's using the magic inside Mjolnir that's being awakened thanks to the rune cave that we're going into. Well, right now, actually, let's go right now. I've told that story already. Let's just. Oh, hold on. The chat actually has said a lot since then, and it will be an opportunity for you guys to also see the effect that goes on when the train is about to launch with that little flame. There it is. Voila. Simple. Have you ever considered starting an ASMR channel? Hell no. Absolutely not. That would be a nightmare. I just don't want to create a channel around me. I want to create a channel around what I create, if that makes any sense. I want to make... I just want to make pretty things, essentially. That's my excuse. Podcast takes storytelling level, for sure. For sure. Anyway, let's get on with the tour. And so yes, here you're going inside Sindri's forge. In retrospect, I should have put Mjolnir here somewhere, right? And then you have the double-sided lockers here. Those artifacts are forbidden in the rune cave, and then you have a very 21st century metal detector to avoid you from getting on the ride with loose articles, and then you get to the rune cave I was telling you about, which is awakening Mjolnir, which is on the front of the car here, and then launching inside the Beyond Vertical launch here. Then you have a statue of Thor here. And here are the custom trains for Mjolnir, with Mjolnir essentially strapped to a boat. And the boat is really inspired by Abyssus at Energylandia. Oh, you haven't seen the Zero Car move yet? Yeah, this is the opportunity to see it then. It's really subtle, but that's new, honestly. That's new with update 5. A secret update that they've done. So now those Vekomas have a Zero Car. And I've had to move those pieces to make sure that they stuck to the front car, essentially. And this is probably my favorite thrill coaster of the park. Thrill attraction, let's say. Like, I really like the layout, the concept behind it. The queue line could have been better, but it is what it is. Zero Car is in unthemed. Not only the unthemed one, but also the Top Gun version has the Zero Car, yeah. And this one obviously is the dethemed car at first, but then it got themed by yours truly. And then you have the other side of the double-sided lockers. And then when you get here, you can see a little bit of a cool switch track here, which was not done by me. It was done by Mr. .NET, who is in the chat tonight. And this is a beautiful switch track that he's done for Correct me if I'm wrong, .net, but I think it was for your Super Boomerang Recreation? Not quite sure, but if you want to download this, this thing, is the share code is right here. And yeah, something that you might not realize is, well, at least from here, is that they can get the train off the... out of the building, essentially, from the air, and they need a crane to get it out. But it's fine. It works. If Fly works that way, I don't see why this one wouldn't. Then you get to Ragnarok Relics, as this sign says, where you can find Gungnir. Gungnir is Odin's spear. Then you have glow-in-the-dark trolls, you have shields and weapons, and you have tiny Yans as well, naturally. Just checking on the chat. And this is the Yggdrasil Plaza. So Yggdrasil, after Ragnarok, in my headcanon, has been completely destroyed and only one seed of Yggdrasil is left. And so the survivors of Ragnarok planted that seed so that Yggdrasil can be can grow once again, essentially. But Mjolnir can lift the car on its own. No need for a crane. Yeah. Yeah, it's... sure. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, the statue also is animated when the train is about to launch. It starts the animation when it leaves the station, essentially. And then here you have Barbardotio's Tavern, which is a barbecue place and a tavern. With chipolata, the Wurst, the currywurst as well, and some merguez. And you have the tavern, which is selling some meat of poetry. This is something from the Norse mythology, something that I believe Odin has drunk, if I remember correctly. Then the Strongjaw Ale, which is from Critical Role, which is a Dungeons and Dragons, very famous Dungeons and Dragons show that I love to follow. This one is from their first campaign, I think. And then honey soda for the kids, obviously. Look at this, so cool. And of course you have tiny sausages and everything here being barbecued. It's really, really cool. And of course you have this fake, like, first floor, second floor, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are. But it's basically just like those walls. But it's really cool because it makes the space bigger, even though it isn't. And I really like that. Yay, I wanted to catch the moment again. And of course you have the Berserker training grounds, which is our axe throwing place, with actual rules that I copied from an axe throwing place near me. It's really, really fun. See you, Aerotech, sorry I missed your message. It's so weird not having the chat on my big screen, so I have to catch up by looking on my phone. I'm so sorry if I missed some things, but this is probably my favorite interactive thing in the park, the axe throwing, right? To me, interactive features are really the future of what we can do in Planet Coaster. Like, you can do, I don't know, water effects, working turnstiles, you know, many things like this that I don't have in mind right now, but I'm sure working showers as well for changing rooms. So yeah, lots of stuff that we can do. Watchtower, and then the final thing we're gonna visit today, the outhouse, the final YanBK toilets. There are 6 YanBK toilets. They're rides on their own. But yeah. Yeah, off-ride water guns as well. Power's Arc, for sure. And also this space looks way better now that we can turn on the lights inside, well, anywhere we want, really. It's really, really nice. Look at this. And how it frames Camtaso City, the portal to Camtaso City as well. And there we go. This is kind of the full park tour here. It's really nice, but just before we stop the stream, there's still one big thing that I haven't shown on video, so it's kind of gonna be exclusive to the stream. And it is something I have to bring back the HUD for. There we and of course I screwed up. So sorry. And it's there we go. So yes, something I remember very early on, I think it was Dan's Theme Park who said that to me. He said the Pueblo de Saguaro Guitarro wasn't really well lit, and so in the back of my mind I always kept the night lighting as a priority, the first priority for when the park would be complete. So I waited for the park to be complete, and there it is. There's the night lighting. So everything is lit accordingly and willingly for a nighttime tour, except if you go do Sub Explorers, this will not be the best experience. So I really cannot stress this enough. Like, if you want to do a night tour of the park, essentially a tour of the park at night, if you go do Sub Explorers, turn it back to day, because the best experience of Sub Explorers is during the day. And this is another really, really cool thing. Like the changing lights for the central water feature of Camtaso City. Like really, really cool. Again, intentional lighting that I've done. You can also see the Dream Energy basically like lighting up this whole thing. It's just so cool, and it does that everywhere. It does that on this one as well. And it does that on the Dream Quadrant as well. So cool. And the lights are basically the color, I mean, are basically the Dream Energy that goes literally like everywhere in the area. So that's what's cool about it. Then if you go to the Chief Beef, you can see that little police light, you know, emergency light, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know what it's called, but yeah, it's there. Then it's really a cold police station here. And if you go in the Gulpy area, in the Gulpy shop, you can see it's a lot warmer if you don't take that into account. Hey Pineapple, welcome to the stream. And by the way, those lights right here, those are my favorite lights. Do you mind, Gulpy? No, he doesn't. Those are my favorite lights in the whole game because they're so discreet, but they can light up so much. Like this, for example. You wouldn't notice that they're there, but they're here. Or here, for example. Like, they're really discreet, and I really encourage you guys to use that. Yeah, Queen Splash can do that, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for the performance. Then the Nightmare Disposal has pink lighting, which is so dreamlike. I love this place. And also, I forgot to point out, the owl is the symbol of a guardian of sleep in my headcanon, because it's a nocturnal animal. And yeah, the changing lights are also here around the Queen Splash area. The Queen Splash fountain, sorry. Is this inspired by Epic Universe? Have you seen the video or not? There's literally a whole video describing how everything is inspired by Epic Universe, and you're here asking me. Yes, it is inspired by Epic Universe. Very much so, in fact. If you see that structure all the way at the entrance. Yeah, I saw the role for coaster generate thing. So, I don't find it interesting, but I like that it's there for people, right? It's not that I don't find it interesting. It's just that I wouldn't use it myself. Then you have Cosmic Cow here. Really pink and mint lighting here. Really cool. And then of course you have the dream quadrants here. Obviously everything is lit up. The portals are lit up. And this is the area where Dan was like, yeah, you need to redo the lighting. And I kind of kept the lighting that I had at first, but I added some as well. Mostly on the rock work. On here as well. On the fountain as well. But otherwise everything is pretty much how it was in the original episode. I've added those lampposts as well. And yeah, you can really feel it in the canyon, how different it is already. So, just to finish the stream, I feel like we should take a night ride on every single ride. Except Sub-Explorers, obviously, because Sub-Explorers is really meant to be ridden during the day. The night ride really isn't that good. I really don't recommend you guys do a night ride on that. And this park still makes me feel emotions I never expected to feel because of a Planko park. Thank you so much, .net, for saying that. Hopefully I can still provide you those emotions in the future with even better parks. Hey Gaspard, bonjour. Welcome to the stream. And thank you for saying that it is a nice project. What's my favorite coaster in Camtaso Park? Without a doubt, it's Sub-Explorers. Without a doubt. To me, Sub-Explorers is more than a coaster. Obviously, it's a dark ride. And the darkness inside the mine really works well here. Again, the darkness works extremely well until you're out of there. And I really wanted to utilize the darkness because of the lights that are on the coaster itself, on the coaster train. What's my favorite bathroom in the park? Why am I not able? Hold on. I'm not able to get off. What the hell? I bet it's because... Yeah. There was another end of day report. Okay, it's fine now. But I think it would either be Station Reefs or the Nightmare Disposal in Camtaso City. Yours the one in the Mexico area. Yeah, it's really cool. Then you have Buddy's Bay, which is pretty simple, honestly. This is the one I haven't changed at all. But I feel like it's pretty cool already. With the blue at the bottom of the coaster. Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. And the volcano as well. Like there's an orange light inside the volcano. It's really, really cool. Really like that. I'm just gonna go through the exit this time. Just to go a little bit faster. How could I miss this? There we go. There we go. We're VIP. Hey Coaster Coder, welcome to the stream. We have a fast pass, yeah, let's say that. Really, really like how dark this place is compared to the rest of the layout. And obviously it feels really warm, thanks to the warm lighting that we have around the area. Thank you for sticking around, Mineral, and see you next time, man. And by the way, while you guys are here, you guys should download Mineral's water park. It's really, really cool. Let's crack on because we're gonna skip Station Reef. Well, we're gonna not skip Station Reef, but Sub Explorers. There's hatchlings here. What's the share code? Just check Mineral's channel, and it's in the description of the of his latest video. Yeah, Station Reef is very like classic, not really well lit. It's just like functional. Yes, until you see the cove. Took the words right out of my mouth. I feel like I've actually spent the day in this park. That's awesome. Yeah, it really does feel like it. We've spent like what, almost 3 hours 30 at this point in the park, which is, yeah, definitely a long time. But it's kind of intended as being a project that you're supposed to take your time in, right? Oh, and you have this little blue lighting here as well, that's really cool. Then you go in the Nymph Woods, which is probably one of my favorite areas. That's with how it's lit, with the fire and everything. Like, the fire gives that really warm glow to everything. Obviously, I added those little spotlights to make sure that you can see the signs here. But the big star of the show is obviously the Splash Mountain-esque view, and of course this guy is still singing! Shut him up! Shut up! But yeah, this view is just so cool. I love it so much. I originally did not have the blue and the green lighting, and I just looked at it at night and I was like, it's a little dark. I just want lighting on this place here, you know, just this view here. The rest of the area can be as dark as it wants. I just want your gaze to really look at this spot in particular, and so that's why I focused all the lighting here. Crescendo needs a 10-hour loop on YouTube. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Hey Ian, I was late to the party. Did you put the Sublime machine in the park anywhere? No, I did not. This is not a... The Sublime machine was a side project. It's not even a side project, honestly. It was just a thing that I wanted to do for the Future City workshop challenge that Frontier hosted last week, essentially. I might use it in a project in the future, who knows? We'll see. But no, I did not use it in Camtaso Park. It didn't fit the vibe of Camtaso Park anyway. Oh yeah, and I put some blue lighting here as well. Oh, and this place, yes, I have those spotlights. See, this is theme park magic right here. Because you wouldn't guess that this is a spotlight. You would guess that this is another torch, right? But no, it's a spotlight. Same here. Like, you wouldn't guess that this is a spotlight. You would totally miss a spotlight if you walked past. But it works. Like, this is the kind of theme park magic that I like, right? And then, of course, the station looks awesome! Absolutely awesome with the torch lights and everything. Let's just board just before it goes. There it is. Like, this area is so pretty at night. I really enjoy what I've done here. And then you get to the spring. Go backwards. And something that's nice is that it's exactly the same lighting depending on whether you're writing this during the day or during the night, which is like very appreciated. Again, the Bowl of Minnows, the Gorgons just before, Kronos. This is really supposed to represent Tartarus, essentially. It's kind of inspired by Hades, the video game. You're very welcome, Night Owl. Although if I were your employer, I would be slightly worried. And there it is. I feel like I like this ride better at night than during the day, if that makes any sense. It feels more special, right? Anyway, let's get off of this. He's a coaster fan, he gets it, okay. That's a cool employer to get, then. And finally, and I feel like this is the biggest work that I've done on an area here. That's near Midgard, and every single thing is lit up green. Every mountain is lit up green. Then on the bottom you have the fjord that's lit up blue. And of course you have the lighting on the train that I've added. Because the pieces that I've used for those little lightning bolts on the sides of the train are not emitting any light, so I had to put additional lights to make sure that the train was lit up. But yeah, it's really, really cool. You have this orange light here. Here is obviously lit up as well. Like every man-made creation is lit up orange. Then you have magic that is really lit up blue, like the train. And then nature is really lit up green. And so I really like the color palette that we've got going on here. Like, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful effect on the train. Absolutely awesome. Like, even this place, like this little Stonehenge kind of looking place. It's really cool. Can I catch the launch? Yes, I can. Perfect. Beautiful. With the moon and everything. That was like, I don't know, PC background worthy. And then of course you have the regular queue, which again, it's something that I like. You don't have to turn it to night to have dark environments now, and it's so good. Like it really, really makes a huge difference. With the rune fire, the crucible, the grindstone and everything. And you go here. It's really awesome. And also the train has that glow. That train was totally empty, by the way. But yeah, it's just so cool. And also the strobing lights also has a really cool effect with the lightning that are painted on the walls of the launch. Anytime now. And I really like how you drop into darkness. You can even see the Dreamweaver in the distance. That's so cool. And I love how the dark portions actually stay dark. Yep, absolutely love that. Of course, again, .NET's beautiful. No, actually, this one is not lit up. But I feel like it's plausible in the sense that the park wouldn't want to actually show the switch track. And this is definitely something that I myself wanted to do, just to have a little something to show .NET's talent, because it takes some dedication and honestly obsession to make something like this for a Vekoma coaster. Only .NET could do that. Maybe not only .NET, but only .NET would have that much dedication. And my friends, well, here we are. That's kind of the end, the bookend for Camtaso Park that we really needed, on top of the final episode that came out last Sunday. It is time to let go. It is time to leave Camtaso Park in the past. If I have one final thing to say, well, first of all, I would not know what it is. This project has taken far too long. Like, this project has taken 7 months. It was way longer than I anticipated it to be. And I think one thing that I've done wrong is not releasing the episodes as I went, which is what I'm going to do with the next series. The next series is still, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks away at this point of making this live stream. I'm still gonna be doing some live streams every Wednesday, as I've done for the past month. I absolutely loved doing the sci-fi vending machine last week, so I think next week we're gonna do something like that, but with an ice cream stand, which is gonna be interesting. But yes, as for Camtaso Park, it's a wrap. It's done. It's complete. It's on the workshop. I still have to update it, actually, with what I've discovered in this stream, but otherwise, yes. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in, for everyone who stayed from the beginning to the end of the stream, because it was another long stream, almost 4 hours of stream again. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for following this series, for following the progress with this park. It genuinely means the world to me, and I don't know what else to say, honestly. I don't know what else to say. It's such an honor to have you on the channel, honestly. Such an honor. Anyway, I'm gonna get emotional again, but yeah, thank you guys so much for staying around, for tuning in, and I love you all so very much. And is it Wednesday yet? See you guys later.